and we should be going.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to No Small Feat, a Midgehheim campaign using the Fabula Ultima system, which you should buy because it's really good. We're enjoying it quite a bit. When last we left our heroes, they had returned the heart to the Heartless Witch, thereby making her title completely meaningless. And allowing her to feel enough emotion to have compassion for the town of Hansand and cure them of the famine that was plaguing them. All was well, and our players got through our first arc without dying, which is great. And now they have a new quest ahead of them, for they have found the first of the 7 crown jewels of Engelsex, and if all 7 are found, a crown can be made and a king can be crowned, allowing the kingdom of Engelsex to restore a certain amount of order and no longer be besieged with plagues and monsters and other sorts of malfeasance and disaster. They have also been given notes on on potential locations for 4 of the other crown jewels. 2 are still up in the air, but 4 we might know where they are. The nearest of which is in the town of Peralt. After a night of reveling and some well-earned rest, our heroes awake the next day in the town of Hansand, ready to set out, with perhaps a few questions remaining.
Yeah.
So, as you guys leave the inn where you were allowed to sleep at Hansand, you go into the city streets, and you can just pretend that it's bustling with people because I forgot to put them on the map, and I'm not going to do it right now. The important one that you wanted to talk to is there. The Heartless Witch, also known as now the Hearted Witch, I suppose, Sycoraxine, is interacting with the townsfolk, and as you can see, the city of the village of Townsend is now thriving. There's food on the market, and everyone's having a great old time. And none is happier than Sycoraxine, who finally has found a place she belongs because of all you wonderful people. Give yourselves a hand. I'm clapping for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm inking some more of your spooks, so I
Mhm.
can't clamp for myself.
That's fair. This is your time to get your last questions for the boss of this arc before you move on to your next adventure.
Excuse me, Sycoraxine.
Oh, hi. Yes.
Earlier, back at your castle, back when you were lacking your heart, it seemed you maybe knew something of my condition.
Um. Yeah. Well, I am a witch, a spellcaster, as it were. So I can sort of read the runes, if you like. Maybe you don't know. So magic has a language to it. We call them runes. Um, and when a person casts a spell, it's like they're speaking or writing in that language. Uh, and just like normal language, every speaker and writer of magic has like an accent, a handwriting style. So if I can just look at you closely, and her big monster hands clasp over your shoulders, she and she leans down to peer at you, and she peers at you for just a moment before her eyes go wide, and she looks just a little bit horrified. She's like, it's not great news, but I do know who cast this spell on you.
And who would that be?
She clasps her big monster hands together and puts them up over her mouth as she like takes a deep breath in and goes, "Okay, so it's cast by Bleak Annis."
There's an inhale of breath from Bright Eyes, like, ooh.
Um, you might have heard of her. She's the most notorious witch in Anglesex.
Oh.
So I'm guessing you had a run-in with her and didn't realize it.
That I did, yep. She asked me if I needed to escape from, my station, and I guess she granted that to me.
Yeah, she's fond of teaching ironic lessons. I've met her once at a Sabbath with a bunch of the covens, and for a minute she smiles and recollects something that then makes her cheeks blush scarlet. Her coven. She has three subordinates. Oh god, Jenny Greenteeth, Nellie Longarms, and Peg Prowler. Thing is, Bleak Annis doesn't. Her coven. They generally don't stay in one place. They're travelers. They're nomadic. They're vagabonds. But they do have some hideouts that they frequent when they want to lay low or just have some time to themselves. And there's one not too far from here because I know because Peg invited me to it after that Sabbath night. She smiles again with just a little bit of a blush.
Wow.
So if you'd like, I could. Do you have a map? I could mark where it would be.
Oh, I have a map. Yeah, I have a map. And I bring it out.
And she marks on the map, giving you guys a new location.
Okay.
And if you look on that map there, you can actually see where Peg Prowler's little hut would be.
How'd you mark it?
It's on the island. It's written out as Prague Prowler.
Oh, okay. It's just too small to see.
Yeah, you might have to make it biggie size.
I see. Well, I guess that's in our general direction where we're going, so... This is one of your friends?
That might be a strong word. I would say peer in my profession. I mean, everyone's friends on a witch's Sabbath, but peer. Peg's a little much, and she's probably gonna want to fight you if you show up. So be prepared for that. Now, you can get to her place down the Ridgetooth River, but I suggest not leaving up here because we're in a mountainous area and there are a lot of rapids and waterfalls that might make trying to get down the river dangerous. I would suggest going to at least Peralt and finding a way to get to the river from there and then taking a more direct path without having to go through the rushing rapids.
Yes, that's good advice, and admittedly I don't have a boat anyway, so...
I've never been on a boat
Yeah.
before.
What?
I've never been on a boat before. It'll be exciting. And I'm going to do something a little goofy, a little aha moment, and I'm going to write down all of the names with a small note to sketch in the future.
Excellent. So yeah, you have your first side quest, which we'll call the Witch Hunt side quest. You have to track down the acquaintances of Bleak Annis to try and get Annis's location.
Thank you very much.
It's no problem. I'm still really indebted to all of you for what you did.
It's no
And I'm
problem.
sorry I almost froze you, Edmund.
Well, I thought that, I guess I'm not, putting myself at risk in winter for that yet.
And she laughs, and it is very nice to just notice the substantial difference in her body language and expression since having her heart back.
Besides, I got fur, water resistant and all that.
That's true. Is there anything else I can do to help you before you set off on your way?
Bright Eyes looks really uncomfortable asking this. It's like, do you know anything about the Baron from Peralt, like, at all?
The last time I was in Peralt was 40 years ago, and I think he was like 5. The von Hubert family has been establishes the barons of Peralt for a few generations now. They're the original von Hubert to immigrate to Anglesix, Charles von Hubert. He did something that was noteworthy, but it escapes me at the moment. I'm sure they'll crow all about it when you get there. But I don't know much of him. I haven't heard much of him since my 3-decade-long episode.
That's fair. Again, she just kind of sighs and goes, well, I guess we're gonna find out just what kind of person he actually is.
Well, I wish you the best. I'm sure he'll be reasonable. I believe his family sided with the king during the war. If they hadn't, they probably wouldn't still be in power.
It's just all of the pride things. It's weird, right?
The bride things? What? What happened to his wife? Who was his wife?
Several people, and then they all just
Oh.
vanished.
Oh, that's not good. Oof, that's a red flag.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
She's
probably
like,
there's
"Look,
there's probably a story there, but I really shouldn't gossip about such things. It feels sort of hypocritical.
like I said, we'll I guess we're gonna find out."
Well, good luck to you with that. And at your side, the little baby phoenix that's still following you guys that makes a little cheap noise.
Aw.
Oh, he's adorable.
Oh, what a cute little phoenix! Meanwhile, Charles just going from stand to stand getting food.
Yeah, he's packing up rations for the trip.
Oh, wait, Phoenix stuff. Do you know anything about making healing remedies from Phoenix ash?
Oh,
We have
well,
bits of its parent. Its previous self? Confusing.
ash can be used for potent healing potions. It can also be used to imbue items with the power of fire or resistance to fire. If you really want to make good healing stuff with Phoenix, shed feathers are particularly useful. You can make potions with Phoenix feathers that can bring one back from the brink of a very recent death.
Do they molt like normal owls? That we won't have to pluck them? Because I feel bad if we did.
Well, it looks like this little guy is only covered in down, and you're going to have to wait until it's old enough to grow actual feathers.
Right.
But
All right.
if you remember from the loot box, you got two of those feathers.
Oh, you mean like these feathers?
Yes, exactly like those feathers.
Cool.
So, how do we turn them into the potion?
I would have to get one of my recipe books. Well, you're heading to Peralt, correct?
Yeah.
There's a magic shop in Peralt. I'm sure the person running that must have a alchemical lab that can help you convert them into revival potions.
Okay.
He might charge a fee, but it probably won't be that high.
We did get, we should be able to handle that.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I would be worried otherwise.
I mean, you guys did get a good chunk of money last time, so.
Like 2,000 in the shared pot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All because we were nice again.
So is there anything else I can do for you?
I can't think of anything. I thank you for the help that you have given, though.
Yes.
It's just to start. I'm really gonna try to pay it forward. I thank you all again for helping me and helping these people. As long as I'm here, you'll always have a place to stay.
Thank you very much.
There's a kind of a bashful smile underneath the hat, and she says thank you as well.
All right, and with
Yeah,
that,
thank you.
unless you guys have any other questions, I believe we have wrapped up the Hans End arc, which means it's time to start moving on.
Do Muppet song time.
Moving right along, looking for good times and good news. With good friends we can't lose. All right, my good friends. We start in the top left-hand corner of this beautiful forest. Let me see. What music do I want playing in here?
So Scrut just kind of following along.
Yeah, the tokens. Roll 20 is still like, nah, no tokens.
Why?
That's weird.
I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out the entire, during this entire session. Nothing's helped. Tried clearing cash, bupkis.
Try giving, permission for one of us to move it and see if that does anything.
How do I do that?
I'll do it.
TT has to.
Okay, I'm gonna use Graves as the first name that showed up. I'm gonna add Graves.
And then
So Scrunt appeared. I can't click the token that's already down, but yeah, I can control this Scrunt.
Do
Scrunt
I
is
have...
making a break for it.
No! Anyway,
Okay.
do I
I'm gonna-
have permission?
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna X everyone except Zero for the moment. I'm gonna save it, and now I'm going to add you. And remove Zero, and see how that works. Try it
I
now.
still control this one. Hold on, let me delete that one. Try putting a new one down because I couldn't control the previous one.
Nothing. Let me try opening the character sheet.
So weird.
Right? It's like...
Okay. I've
Oh.
now edited it so only Shady can control the Scrunt. Will that do something?
Let's find out. As soon as my character sheet decides I'm gonna load.
Technology, a magical thing.
Yeah, I would apologize, but this is completely on roll 20 at this point.
Oh yeah, this is just technology not being an app.
Boom, 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 boom.
Not very user friendly.
Said to myself, got the Muppet song stuck in my head.
Yeah. I'm gonna try refreshing my page. See if that
Okay.
helps. Okay, yeah. Loading into roll 20.
That's a little intense.
That's pretty intense, yeah.
It was like,
Going
Dark
through the
Woods?
forest now.
Yeah. A forest of war.
Hey!
All right. Woo!
Hey! All right.
Scrunt can
Wonderful.
Finally! It's been
And I just-
3,000 years.
Just had to make it so I can't control him.
Oh.
Amazing.
I have power to access all of you, but apparently I can't access the Scrunt.
Scrunt bows to no god, apparently.
Scrunt must
Scrunt
be
is
free.
ungovernable. But at the same time, though, can I just? I mean, I can. So okay, well, whatever. Fuck it. Okay. All right. Well, have at it, guys. Let's see what we're doing. Are we going a little further in the forest?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go a little further in the forest.
so Edmund, do you
Alright.
think it's when we find this pig prowler, she'll be able to uncurse you?
Well, it sounded like that would be unlikely until I find that bleak anise.
Why does that name sound familiar?
I don't know. She didn't tell me her name. I feel like I heard vaguely about the witch before, but that's about it. Only vague stuff.
Maybe she's a sausage maker.
What? Doesn't even make sense.
Listen, if you have a famous sausage facility, then you're going to be well known. You're supplying the food.
What kind of logic is that? I mean,
It's economics, you fool.
your statement's not.
So
Are
as you
economics
guys
a dragon thing?
as you guys are traveling along, chatting loudly about economics and witches, you spy on the road, caught in a hunter's snare, a creature that at first you think is a fox until it flutters the wings on its back, which are very much like those of a falcon or hawk. And as it struggles to break free of the snare, you realize that its forelimbs are also much more like the talons of an eagle or a other bird of prey than those of a fox. The creature alternates between looking at you with wide-eyed fright and being as stock-still as it can, and then furiously trying to break free while yipping.
Hey, just
Hey, little girl.
calm down. We can get you out of there. Hello.
As you approach the little fox bird thing, you hear the sounds of wolves howling not too far away. And are left with a quandary. Do you help this creature out of the snare? Or do you try to move quickly to avoid whatever else might be lurking in the woods?
Fuck them wolves. I'm getting this thing out of there.
Yeah. Would Barrel's
Doesn't
speech
sound
be
like
able to communicate with it?
Possibly. Yeah, normally, yes.
Okay.
If it has.
Vargas howls that we heard earlier.
Yes. Well, I mean, Bargas howls sound very much like wolf howls, so it could very well be Bargas.
It's okay, little guy. Don't worry. We'll get you out of here.
Do I need to roll anything out of curiosity?
You will need to roll a check to release the creature from the snare. Telling me how you try to break it free of the snare will determine what you have to roll for the check.
Okay. I'm going to just try to move. Scrunt's going to move his tail and use the spade to try and cut the line.
All right. Then I would say that's a Dex and Might.
Okay.
So your dex
The-
dice and your might dice.
Okay. 1 second. Dex and might. No modifier, so.
All right. You try to cut it with your tail, and either you've just been slacking on working out the musculature of your tail, or your blade has got your spade tip has gotten a bit blunt over the years, and you haven't sharpened it properly because it is not cutting that rope.
Anyone got a knife?
Here, let me try. And I'm going to try to brute force it open because I don't have a knife.
Okay, then that would be might and might.
Might
Things
makes right.
I am terrible at.
All right, you managed to hurt your hands really bad. I mean, not like, crippling bad, but enough to go like trying to pull apart this tightly woven twine.
Oh,
Step
Keeping an eye
aside,
out
step
for-
aside. Leave it to somebody with claws.
And while they're trying to deal with this rope, Charles is keeping an eye out for anything sneaking up on us.
What do I roll for my claws?
Might and might, my friend.
All right.
Oh shit.
Man, I'm good at that too.
Jesus.
oh no. Okay.
Dear
Whatever.
God.
Charles,
Okay.
you see a large Barghest slowly lurching towards you through the woods. It doesn't think you've seen it yet. It definitely knows your friends haven't seen it yet because they're all focusing on this little Enfield. And it's low down, its ears slicked back, it's watching very intently, waiting for an opportune moment to strike.
Could I do an intimidate? Try to make myself big, start smacking my shield with my
Fuck
staff,
yeah,
and be like, yeah,
might
get-
plus willpower.
Yep, I have intimidate right here. Doubles.
Damn,
Hey.
That's a success!
It's not
You've-
2 6s, but still, that's a.
I mean, you got doubles.
I thought doubles only worked with 2 6s and above.
It only works on 2 double 6 and above unless you have a thing. But still, you got a 10. 10's a success. I mean, I'm not throwing anything hard at you at the moment. This is all a normal check. So 10 is a success for a normal check. You scare the Barghest off. Probably helped by the fact that it was just 1. And it thought it had the stealth advantage of you, a fairly large prey item, show that you saw it coming.
Me and Edmund are the biggest ones, and I just was just like, no, get.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anyone else got ideas on how to get an animal out of a human-made snare?
I do.
I can't believe this is our cut tree.
So Bright Eyes is going to hold the line taut and then look over her shoulder at Longshanks and go, "Would you mind?" And she's holding the rope so he can reach over and bite it or claw it apart.
Okay.
No one have a dagger or a knife?
I
I
have
have
a
a
crossbow and that's it.
I'm gonna say willpower. Plus either dexterity or might. Technically it's Longshank's dexterity or might, but I don't believe the Wayfarer animal companions have their own separate stats, do they?
Let me check real quick. It says gains bonus equal to SL accuracy checks and magic checks. So it says I would just have a bonus to accuracy checks and magic checks.
So I'm gonna say it's using your stats for this, D&D familiar style.
Okay, that works for me.
But the willpower is to successfully convey to this creature if it does not speak common. common Bretonche. We're not in D&D, William. Jesus. To free the little Enfield.
Hey!
Hey! And it turns out your puck is pretty damn smart. Oh, or maybe it too has felt the terror of a snare. The one thing is, it can't do this as a cat. So, in a shower of magic that looks very much like embers or sparks, it transforms into its true draconic form, which is a little house cat-sized dragon. Leaps off your shoulder and bites into the rope of the snare with its teeth and breathes just enough fire to burn the ropes to weaken them and completely free the Enfield. And the Enfield is scared because it's surrounded by large creatures, but realizing that you freed it, it cautiously nuzzles Longshanks before darting off into the woods.
I'm glad that he's out of there. Also, say hello to Longshanks.
You are the
Your cat
prettiest.
is cursed.
No, he's a dragon, not cursed.
Oh,
He's a gorgeous little dragon too, aren't you, buddy?
I figured I could trust you with this, and you wouldn't hunt him for sport.
What gives you that idea? Scrunt says as he takes his dragon claw and scratches his dragon chin.
Lucky guess.
he's not really much of a query, though, is he? Quarry.
Tell that to dragon hunters.
Longshanks flutters up and goes back to its favorite spot on your backpack and shoulder.
He's a wonderful companion, and I hope that he and Barnaby will be good friends.
Right.
I appreciate you too, Barnaby.
Yeah,
If you would.
careful. There's some kind of like traveling oddity show or something. Some asshole try to convince me I should present myself as an attraction. That's just like, what? So someone might try to scoop up them, or looks to Barnaby and then Scrunt and then Edmund. I think we should all probably watch out.
Oh, I heard something about that. There's some asshole in Summerlee trying to catch exotic creatures.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a few of those traps too.
What a rude gentleman. I hope the little fellow's going to be okay. I should sketch him in the sketchbook.
Was there
How much you want to bet that rude gentleman might be the person in that letter that could have I was just about to say crystal, the crown jewel in Summerlee.
Fucking crystals.
Not crystals, not crystals.
We gotta find the king's healing crystals, man.
We want his doubloons.
I don't want any of his doubloons, thank you.
Did we not? Okay, we did hear about Summerlee. Okay.
Yes, you did.
Okay. I just want to double check. Well, we'll cross that bridge. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
That is...
Isn't it cross that bridge?
You say tomato, I say tomato.
I guess that's fair.
I'm going to sketch the infield for the journal before we get much further down the road and get attacked by wolves again.
Enfield. Description. A rather underutilized recipe for Chimera, in my personal opinion. While it may be flashier and more physically powerful to combine an eagle and a lion, combining the wily strength of a fox with the cunning and speed of a falcon or a hawk is just as potent, even if it isn't as large or impressive. Enfields are highly intelligent, highly versatile creatures, and know good and well to stay away from most human beings for the safety of their lives. Wonderful little creatures, and really good at disposing of pests.
Oh, if you would like, before he changes back, I don't think he would mind if you sketched him. I think he'd actually enjoy that.
I can ask him. Puck, my good friend, may I sketch you?
By all means.
Does everyone hear that, or just the chimerist?
Anyone who speaks Draconic Bretonch can understand that.
There's just a
What everyone else hears is a very deep, rumbling, gurgling hiss.
Okay, so I heard nothing.
Well, you heard a very deep, rumbling, gurgling hiss come from a cat.
I sketch. So I am planning on drawing these eventually, and I have a really fun piece for this one planned. So one half is Puck's cat form, and the other side is a Puck's dragon form, kind of chasing each other in a circular formation.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Longshanks, the puck. Description. Oh, pucks! Such delightful things. Everyone thinks of dragons as being big, but what they don't know is dragons are phenomenally successful creatures. They've occupied not only every environment, but practically every niche in nature. And the pucks are a marvelous example of that survival instinct. Cunning and clever as their larger counterparts, and just as ruthless towards their prey. They are marvelous beasts, guardians of the granary and staunch defenders of those who have earned their very sought-after loyalty. I remember when I visited old Granny Yaga in Ruslavak, that wonderful witch. She had like 50 of the things running around her chicken leg house. She has problems.
There is a second where Mont Blanc just like takes a look back and blinks and goes, "Oh, that is, huh."
Got a bit to say, huh?
Oh, nothing but compliments for Longshanks.
Of course. What else could there be?
Would you like a fun fact?
Would I? That sounds like
I don't know. I don't know. Apparently, the witch Yaga over in Ruslavek keeps about 50 around her chicken leg house.
Oh, and the description will also mention the fact that pucks are one of the magical creatures that have a natural ability to shapeshift, and in their case, their natural disguise is that of a cat.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, apparently the book is familiar with witch up in Ruslavek named Yaga. I don't know who they are, but they sound polite.
Well,
If they've earned the trust of fellows like Longshanks, they can't be all that bad.
All right. Well, ready to move on, gang?
Yes.
All right. Well, continue down the path.
Do 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 do.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
son of a bitch.
There's some wolves in your way, some very large wolves, and as they stand towards you growling, you hear a far deeper wolf roar as something emerges from the gloom,
Oh crap!
and you see a creature that makes the bar guests look normal. An enormous wolf whose jaws open far wider than a wolf's jaws should open. So much so that it's almost like the neck is tearing itself just slightly to open them wide. Some of you may have heard this mentioned in towns before, and as so you would recognize on description that this is a Fenris brood, or Fenriskin.
That's the big one.
Yeah, those are
Ah,
supposed to be really bad.
Well,
yes. The other kin of Fenris. That was not in character.
roll your initiative.
Snake eyes.
Who's our initiative leader? Remember, this is a group check.
No, hold on.
Edmund. And Mont Blanc.
Yeah. Yes, I did lead us into another wolf set.
You can have it, Edmund.
Yeah, I'd give it to Edmund.
I'm
Yeah.
giving it to Edmund in
Critical
this sort of
success, does
situation.
that mean anything for initiative?
It means you definitely win the initiative round. So, like, if you're the leader, so that means you definitely go first,
Yeah,
regardless of what it is for the wolves. So, yeah, you are initiative leader.
All right, we've done this before. The pack leader is the one we want to target, and there could be no one other else that could be this. So, Edmund attacks the Fenriskind with his bronze sword.
All right, that hits. Good, and that's a good amount of damage. Nice chunky bit of damage to this guy. One of the Barghest targets Grunt.
Okay.
Does that hit you, Scrunt? Does
Is it-
16 hit you? Does 16 surpass your defense?
No.
Holy shit!
Wow,
Really?
Yeah.
got a little tank there.
Better than mine. The tank.
Oh my god! Holy shit! Well then, yeah, you survive. It doesn't hit you. All right, next in turn order would be Bright Eyes, I think.
Yeah, think so.
Oh no, it'd be
Yeah.
Block.
You're right.
Block.
I know.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Sorry, asthma. You know how it
It
be.
happens.
I'm just gonna. No, oh wow, you just sort of swallowed that wolf, didn't you? All right. Well,
Oh.
you are a Fenris brood. There we go. Now everyone's sort of staggered correctly. No, we'll just move that one there. There we go. There we go.
Do I recognize any of these as one of the ones I scared off?
Sadly, no. You don't see one that has very well, yeah, no. You don't see any that have obvious tells of being ones that you've met before. Mont
Okay.
Blanc, what you gonna do, buddy?
Pulling the goose by the neck like a club.
Are you muted or lost in thought, Gray?
I am muted, and that does not help my situation. I don't know how I was muted. So I'm going to spend 5 mind points at the start of
Okay.
the conflict, technically. So I can choose one option. I can choose a creature you can see, and the GM reveals one of their traits. Or name a damage type and choose a creature you can see, and the GM reveals that creature's affinity towards that damage type.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend 5 mind points.
All right.
And I would like to reveal one of the traits of this lovely Fenris wolf.
All right. You want to know about the Fenris kin?
Yes.
So any trait? I tell you any trait or like a specific thing?
It just says trait. A trait. So any trait.
I'm gonna give you its main attack. White Maw. Dex plus might plus 5, high roll plus 15 physical damage, and the target suffers weak.
Good to know.
And also, because I don't feel that it's particularly useful, it's vulnerable to fire.
Mont Blanc will go, it's vulnerable to fire, and watch out for its bike. It'll leave you vulnerable. And that is my turn.
All right. So one attacks Grunt, one's gonna attack Charles. So let's roll that beautiful beam for the point. Charles, does 9 hit you?
Whoa.
That's nice that they're rolling like shit this time as opposed to critting on you guys like the first time you fought. Okay. Now I think it's Bright Eyes' turn.
Yes.
Okay, so I was just told it's vulnerable to fire. And my companion doesn't get a turn during conflicts, but on your turn you can use an action to have that companion perform an action.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to have the stats of a beast, construct, elemental, or plant creature of level 5.
Okay.
Breathe fire on that fuck.
Fuck yeah. That's gonna be insight plus willpower for that attack.
Okay.
Or the cat at the giant wolf's face.
Well, now it's a dragon.
Insight plus willpower. 13.
That hits. So let's just say this is basically the basic bitch fire spell. Which I'm gonna look up. Not flare. Ignis. So you do high roll plus 15. What was the high roll of that?
Let's see. High roll was an 8.
All right, so 8 plus 15, so that's a respectable 23 damage. Which not only hits singes a good chunk of this Fenris Brood, but lights it on fire. At which point, it almost comically for a creature that big freaks the fuck out like Shere Khan and books it.
It was only on the screen for a few frames before it was just gone.
The bar guests look very confused.
Longshanks gets a treat and a kiss on the head.
The last bar guest who has a turn this round also books it. Next round. No, wait, no, who's left? There's one player who hasn't gone yet.
Me and Charles.
Because I
Yeah, both of you.
snake-eyed. Yeah, so it'd be Scrunt and then me.
Okay.
All right.
Because I snake-eyed.
Okay. I'm just going to try and intimidate these two to get them out of here.
Willpower plus might.
Willpower plus might. Roll.
Should be a preset intimidate.
What does a 15 get me?
Success. And because their boss is gone, you successfully scare off those nasty little dogs.
That was such a weird wolf.
Girls don't even have to do anything.
I like that you have the Final Fantasy IX fight music and then the Final Fantasy VII victory.
It's because I couldn't find the victory for Final Fantasy IX on soundtrack things.
That's fair. It's delightful though. I like it.
Yeah. It's mixing and matching a lot of things. So okay, you guys go forward a bit.
So do you think they'll just show up back down on the road once they realize the fire's not going to eat them?
Maybe.
Did you draw it?
Oh, shoot, I should draw it.
Hold on, everybody. Doodle break.
Doodle break.
Doodle break.
All right. Fenris Brood, aka Fenris Kin. Description. Wolves with a bit of Jotun DNA in them, or Jotun genetics in them, thanks to the siring of their progenitor, the great Fenris wolf. Fenris brood are massive and incredibly hungry, with appetites so large that their jaws split their own necks in their attempt to get more and more food in their mouths. It is said that the two firstborn children of Fenris wish to swallow the sun and moon themselves, their hunger is so great.
Doesn't sound comfortable.
Monk will put a small note. Do not like fire. Ran from Longshanks.
Oh, yes, they do hail from Germanor, and particularly the northern parts. They like to be around Jotun. It makes sense that with their thick, shaggy fur, they would be particularly flammable.
Fair enough. Thank you very
And
much.
unaccustomed to high temperatures. Anyways, moving right along.
What are they doing this for herself then?
I think
What
it's
indeed?
all of the problems we're having.
It is strange that they are this far down south, but not too strange, I suppose.
I kept hearing something about rumors of a ravening beast.
More of them.
Is it eating the other wolves?
You see a pack of Barghest with two large Fenris broods with them. And as they loom towards you, they stop as a distant but far more ominous sound is heard.
Hey, Edmund, I don't think you're the ravening beast.
The sound of trees breaking and snapping, and the sound of something enormous lurching ever closer towards you, and you see emerging from the trees, so large that it is struggling to push its way through them, is a wolf the size of which you can scarcely contemplate. A wolf that towers over the trees themselves, and as the Barghest and Fenris broods run away, it snaps at them with its jaws as if trying to eat them, and when it opens its jaws, while they move just as much as a normal wolf's would, you can see that inside something is wrong there. That there's too many parts inside the mouth and too many teeth. Far too many teeth. And you can even see what looks almost like teeth peeking out the sides of its neck.
Oh, God.
It is massive and muscular, but notably as you look at it, you can see that its stomach area is sunken with hunger. And the ravening beast is before you.
Oh shit.
Fuck.
So, we're going to deal with a mechanic in Fabula Ultima that is pretty important. This is, by the way, yes, you met a villain, so you get a Fabula point.
Yay!
So the ravening beast is trying to break its way out of the woods to get you.
Get a Fabula point?
OBS had a hiccup, so it's back now. So
Okay, so the ravening beast is going to try to get you, and you have to make checks to escape before it does. You need 4 successes. If you get 4 successful checks to book it as fast out of here in a variety of ways, not just running, but like other things coming to try and put some distance between you and the monster, you escape. If you fail, the beast gets closer to getting you. And if it gets you, you are going to have to fight this monster, which I do not think level-wise you are ready to face yet.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So, who wants to try and get a success first?
What's the check?
Well, how are you going to try to escape?
Well, it looks like it's having problems getting through the trees, so I'm gonna dive in, the bushes and push my way through because I'm smaller than it.
Okay, I'm gonna say this is Dex and Insight. Dex to actually manage, like, sneaking through the underbrush. Insight to not get lost in the process.
Okay. I'll go first. Nope. That's a
Well,
6.
shit. It's getting closer.
Alright.
Oh boy.
Oh shit!
Oh, you're doing the same thing?
Yep, mistakes happened.
We still
All
have an
right.
open trail, right?
Yep, you still got an open trail. Your friends are trying to get through the underbrush and getting kind of stuck.
Yeah, no, I'm bigger. I'm just gonna try to go the open trail.
All right, just straight Dex for you, my man.
Oh boy. That's totally something that I have. I mean, D8's okay. Oops.
Oh my god, we're-
No.
That's not great.
It's gonna get close.
Okay, so now we need to undo some of these, so...
Charles, do you have a plan?
I mean, I'm a support character. I don't have spells that are useful in this moment.
Oh, it's not necessarily a
Um,
spell. Like, just think of some way you can do to get
I
you
know.
guys out of here and put distance.
I mean, seeing people having trouble, I'm tempted to just scoop up Bright Eyes and Scrun and just book it using my strength to just carry them with me as I just sprint.
Might and dexterity.
Come on, Charles. Come on, Charles.
My dexterity, I'm not good at it.
While he's doing this, could I do a captivate roll to try to gather his attention since it's kind of focused more on them right now?
Ooh. Yeah?
Another idea crossed my mind, but it's a little zany and I gotta wait.
Alright, mine and Dex. Wow, all sevens.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Okay.
Roll 20 hates us
Hey,
today.
sevens, that's lucky,
Wow, we
right?
failed our first clock. Alright. The beast breaks through the underbrush. You are in a combat. Roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Now, flee is an action you can take in combat.
Hell yeah, I'm taking that.
Yeah.
Initiative, though.
I believe none of us succeeded.
Yeah, holy shit.
Fucking hell.
It wants to terrify us, that's why.
Well, good entrance for the Ravening Beast.
Horrifying.
Horrifying.
Okay, is Mont Blanc our leader?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
Mont Blanc, you get to lead. You get to go first.
Yeah, I'm hightailing it out there. Like, nope, bye. I
Okay.
got a book to fill.
Alright, flee action, straight dex.
Oh, it's a straight dex.
Yep. But I'm gonna say the difficulty level is 5.
Good,
Because the sheer sight of this fucking monster is goddamn terrifying, and it makes you Scooby-Doo it out of there.
Yep.
Alright,
Okay.
Mont Blanc, you got out. It's the beast's turn.
Oh boy.
It's looking at who thinks the biggest meal is, and it's gonna look at Charles.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So it opens its jaws wide, but it's still like it's burst out of the underbrush, but it's still a bit trapped in it. It throws forward its jaws and tries to bite. And I am assuming 13 does not hit you.
Oh, 13? That is my defense.
Okay.
Wait,
High roll.
but you rolled an 8. Oh, but there's
Yeah,
a bonus.
There's a bonus. Okay. You take 20 physical damage as you feel... Were you bitten by the Barghest before? Or just, have you ever been bitten by a wolf or a dog before?
Probably, well, not dogs at the village, but there are sometimes horses that just bite and are hungry for meat.
Oh.
So yeah, sometimes, yeah.
This is not like a normal mammalian bite. You feel more jaws beneath the main two. You feel a lot of teeth just shredding and trying to pull your flesh in as it mauls your arm.
That
All right,
was 20
next.
Damage.
That was 20 damage.
Okay. Oh wait, I reduced some damage.
Next. Well, that's good. Next in the turn order is... Mont Blanc or Bright Eyes? Which one of you wants to go first?
Mont Blanc already went.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So I didn't want... Oh, that was his generic roll. Okay. So Bright Eyes. Bright Eyes is next in the turn order.
Damage reduction is 1 point.
Hey, that 1 point might save your life. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take the flee action.
All right, straight dex. Hey, get out of there.
What is with just all 7s?
Apparently the god of luck decided to be funny when it fucks you over.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky 7.
The beast, the beast's head rolls around, and Edmund, can you make an intelligence, just a straight insight roll, as it's thrashing about around you?
Okay.
Yeah, you see an eye briefly open in the middle of its neck. A very large eye. And because that caught your attention, you're actually able to get when it suddenly lashes out and tries to bite you, and manage to escape being bitten. I assume because I imagine your defense is higher than 9.
Yes.
Okay. Next in the turn order is either Edmund or Scrunt.
You take it, Scrunt.
Actually, I kind of want to give it to Edmund since, like, playing off the momentum of him seeing the eye.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I saw the eye and I am booking it. Dex.
All right. Straight dex.
That
has put the fear into Edmund.
Oh!
Holy shit!
All right. With lessening targets, the beast attacks you, Scrunt, for 15. But that doesn't hit you, does it?
No.
Thank God for armor. And thank God you're fighting phase 1. All right. Scrunt, your turn.
Phase 1.
Yep. Oh shit. Booking it out.
All right. Charles, it's about to be your turn when you hear a yipping cry, and flying out of the woods, theoretically, if its little image will load, is the Enfield. And the Enfield leaps onto the beast's giant head and scratches one of its eyes out, giving you the opportunity to flee.
Well, Dex is my worst thing, so let's see
No,
how funny
it
things
gives you
are
the
about to get.
opportunity to flee.
Oh. Did I flee?
You flee. All right.
Yeah. Being funny today.
So you guys emerge out of the woods, to the sound of trees falling and limbs pounding, and this thing still pursuing you. And as you break free of the woods, you see, on the road outside of the woods and on the path that you're leading to, a knight in shining armor, sitting at a campsite. He's just put down his lance, and as he sees you running out, he's like, "Well, hello there, how are you?" And then he sees what's behind you, and he's like, "Spoons!" And he picks up his lance and halves it up and prepares, "Get behind me!"
I'm going to. Fuck that.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yep.
I sure has dents in it, yeah.
You get behind him, and the beast, you see it looming out of the woods, trapped by just the sheer amount of trees in between it and you, and it snarls for a moment as it tries to push its way through, and then stops, sniffs the air, turns its head back as if it smells more prey, and bounces off the way it came, disappearing into the gloom. Great Scott! What a wolf! Seems you ought to have had sort of a harrowing adventure.
You could say that, yes.
Come, sit. I was just setting up camp, and we can stay together. And if that thing comes back, I'll do my best to fend it off. I'd offer to hunt it down for you, but I must admit, tracking wolves isn't my forte.
I don't think that one's hard to track.
Quite right. I imagine the tracks are quite large. Whew. What a beast.
On that we can agree. Apologies. I am Montblanc. Who are you, good sir?
My name is George. George, it's a pleasure to meet you, Sir Montblanc. Sorry, I should say my name is Sir George. I always forget they gave me a title.
Oh, thank you for your offer to defend us.
Oh, not at all. I'm always looking out for the little guy. These roads these days. I knew it was bad in Anglo-Saxon what I heard, but the sheer amount of malfeasance and monstrosity on display is disheartening. But it is good to be home. Good to be home.
Sir George, I'm Edmund Guilford. You said they gave you...
The Guilfords! The Guilfords? And he very carefully claps you on the back without hitting you with his spike-covered armor. Which you notice now that you have the opportunity to get a good look at him without a giant monster on your trail. He's like a fucking porcupine with just these huge, several-inch-long steel spikes jutting out of all of his plate mail. I knew Mr. and Mrs. Guilford. How old are they these days?
Well, you could say they're getting a nice long rest. You haven't been here in a while, have you?
No, I've spent the last 20 years in Castellan, hunting the coca. But, well, it's good to be back home. I heard that the king was slain. It's horrible. I haven't crowned a new one yet. Why is that?
They don't have the means.
I'm dead broken. Charles says as he just uses heal to cure his wounds.
Oh, no.
Oh, did anyone else get injured?
I don't.
Thankfully, the beast whiffed its rolls.
Well, not against me. It hit
Yeah,
my
not
armor
against
plate
you.
back.
Everything after you.
Well, why don't you just try to terrify us a little bit by hitting the most tanky fuck?
Oh, I didn't get hit.
No, the tankiest fuck is Scrunt.
Yeah,
Apparently.
fucking get
Yeah,
so.
It rolled a total of like 10 against Scrunt, or like 13 or something. It was pitiful. The dice were horrible and then nice. As if they felt bad about what they did.
They do.
Well, so it's good to know at the very least why this is all so strange. Had the sticky wicket that. How does one make a crown anyway? That's a question for the wizards.
What brings you back here anyway?
Homesickness, I suppose. Well, and the hunt in Castellan was not as successful as I hoped. I did manage to wound the old beast, but... Well, I'm not quite ready to kill it yet, apparently. But we'll get there, George, we'll get there. I do like to come back to good old Engelsix. See how the folk are doing. See what dragons need slaying and whatnot.
Side glance to Scrunt.
And
Maybe
that's
BRB.
that's when Sir George realizes that there is a dragon amongst you. Oh my word. Is that? Oh, it can't be.
Oh, this is Scrunt.
Oh, it's a Broncales drake! I saw the specimen over in Castellan. They had the skin on the wall.
Shady is BRB at the moment.
I know, but it's also fun to have the Dragon Slayer just talk like he's not there.
Okay. I see ya. Big hunter of dragons?
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Yes, I am a big hunter of dragons, a dragon slayer, one might say. Not to brag. I know this is going to sound like a brag, but it's honestly just the truth. I am the most proficient dragon slayer in all of Midgard. I've literally written the book on dragon slaying, as well as the follow-up and the 17 follow-ups to that follow-up.
Wow, such a prestigious dragon slayer here back amongst small villages of Anglo-Sax.
Small villages are where dragon slayers are the most needed. You think they're always raiding castles and preying on princesses? No. The most common need for a dragon slayer is a small rural village where their livestock are being slaughtered, their farm hands going missing, and the surrounding forests quickly catching fire.
Scrunt, you missed it. George was nerding out over Scrunt.
Ah, okay.
Over
Anyway,
yeah, over the skin of somebody like you
He-
that he saw.
He mentioned that he has seen a Broncalis drake once before in Castellan. He saw the hide of one on display.
Ooh.
Ah. This is a fortuitous meeting. What brings you all through the woods?
Oh,
that giant wolf.
that and we were just on our way to Peralt.
I'm going to the same place. I have a summons for a particular job that I will probably be able to accomplish in Peralt if my hunch is right.
Hopefully it is not hunting that great wolf.
No, as I said, I am a dragon slayer. I have hunted and slain other monsters on occasion, but the fact of the matter is my techniques, my armor, my weaponry, it's all based in dragon slaying. If you want a wolf hunter, I'm sure there are plenty. I know that Franz Kane has quite a few gar wolf hunters that would probably be of use, although I don't know if werewolves ever get that large.
Is it really that different to hunt a dragon versus other monsters?
Oh, absolutely! Dragons are a very unique skill set. First of all, the wizards could explain this better than I could, but magic has 4 primary elements: fire, water, earth, and wind. Most arcane creatures are attuned to 2 of those elements at most. Dragons are the only creature other than humans that are attuned to all 4. That makes them incredibly durable, able to resist most enchanted weapons and spells. Then you add to that just their natural proficiencies, their serpentine cunning, their venom, their sharp fangs, their impenetrable skin. They are an exceedingly difficult creature to slay. One must gear their weaponry entirely to the hunt of dragons to be a successful dragon slayer. Do you think I wear armor with all these impractical spikes because it's comfortable or makes my life easy? No, it is a necessary mechanical advantage in fighting a dragon.
I see. But those all sound like things that would be pretty helpful against a giant wolf, too.
I'm sure they could, but the fact of the matter is, a wolf is going to be running around. It's not necessary, and it means that my slowed down movement is now giving me a disadvantage that a normal suit of plate armor wouldn't have, and thus allow me to fight the wolf better.
Ah.
More to the point, because wolves do not have the strength of armor, or even the strength of bite, they don't have fire. There are all these things that are needed in Dragon Slayer armor that are not necessary. You could hunt most wolves in normal leather armor if you wanted to, and just use precise stealth and a good bow and arrow and ching, kill them from a long distance and never have to get close to the beasts.
I never would have thought of it like that. Thank you for the information.
Yes, I mean, if push comes to shove, and if the creature comes here, I will do my level best to defend you, but the fact of the matter is, if I was to hunt that beast, first thing on my order of business would be getting a different suit of armor for the occasion.
Luckily, it doesn't seem to be interested in coming through the tree line.
Well, at least at the moment. Probably has more food in there.
But for how long?
A good question. If that's the creature everyone's raving about in the towns, it probably is traveling quite a bit in search of food. I might have to do some research into hunting wolves.
It did seem like it was starving. It looked malnourished, especially
Yes,
for
well,
its size.
that is the case of most troublesome creatures. The man-eater is not an animal that is healthy in its habitat. It is a creature that is desperate. Often the act of slaying such a beast is less of an act of cruelty and more of mercy.
See. Makes sense. That thing running around certainly puts a limit on travel between towns.
Yes. Yes, it does. That is a problem. Anglesex has quite a few problems at the moment. It's a good thing I've returned home.
So you said you were heading to Peril too?
Yes, I have a summons. I have a... How would you all lot feel about joining on a quest, actually?
Of what sort?
Well, my current employer, I suppose, wishes for me to capture a creature alive, and that is substantially more difficult than slaying it. Have you ever heard of a paluda?
No. What is a paluda?
Yes, well, a paluda is a species of dragon that has developed incredibly thick armor studded with spikes, oddly enough, much like my own. Now, I did once have to slay a Paluda in the rough general vicinity of Perrault, which is why I think that if I search the wilderness nearby Perrault, I may find others of its kind. If we were able to subdue the creature and capture it, I could bring it to my employer in Summerley, and there would be a good... Well, let's see how we break it down. He's offering 5,500 gold. That's Zenit, in-game mechanic terms. So, let's see, there's 5 of you. I'd say each of you would get 1,000 gold each.
Look to Edmund, squint.
Yeah, Edmund's thinking the same thing.
Yeah, Scrunt has moved behind him, is giving it, like, shaking it. Like, no.
I'm assuming your dragon pet will want a share. They do love the shinies.
You also notice that Bright Eyes is, like, not... She's looking at you all and just going, no.
After that run-in with the wolf and everything, I think we're all a bit shaken up at the idea of facing any monsters at the moment.
Plus, we do have business currently in Perrault that needs investigation.
Fair enough. Well, if you change your mind, I will be staying at the local inn. What was it called? The Cendrillon Inn. If you stop by and you chat, hit me up for a chat, and we can go out together if you'd like. If you don't, no skin off my back, as they say. It just seems like you all are sort of a adventurous lot. Perhaps I'm judging on appearances, in which case that is my folly, and I apologize.
No folly. Just... We are on a sort of a important quest of our own. Less, heroic, but still pressing.
Can you indulge me in explaining such a thing, or would that be prying too hard? I'm sorry, I'm being a bit curious, aren't I?
Well, and she's going to spin it as being, we're following a friend to make sure she gets here in time for her wedding, especially after that wolf attack.
Very fair, and it's very noble of you. Love is a beautiful thing, and weddings, of course, they're how we bind our societies together, make 2 families one, and unite the peoples. I would not delay you on such a quest, but plan on staying in Perrault for a week or so if you find you have some spare time, I'd love to have you aboard, show you a bit of the old business, maybe teach you a thing or two, eh?
Perhaps, if you have time.
We'll consider it for sure.
Splendid.
Our nerves are a bit settled and everything.
Yes, just speaking of, so, would you fancy a good meal while we're here? I have some venison.
If you would
Sure.
mind sharing.
Yeah. Won't say no to a meal.
Splendid, I'll get it cooking, and you can all just settle down, make a little camp, and in the morning we'll make our way to Perrault. Alright, so you are now in an interlude. If you guys would like to form any bonds...
Gotta ask TT, do we get a Fabula point?
You do not get a Fabula point for
Okay.
Sir George Garson.
Okay.
Yet.
So he's mechanically not a villain yet.
Yes.
Possibly ever.
Bright Eyes
Okay.
has a
Guys,
different
I haven't
opinion.
written Scrunt's loyal or bond yet, and I think I'm gonna go with affection because it's more like a you're a weird little freak, affectionate.
It's like exactly.
Charles likes snaky things, and
Now, normally, you can only form 1 bond per interlude, but Scrunt, because you missed the first one, I will allow you to form form up to 4 bonds right now to sort of catch up with the rest of the gang.
Okay.
They don't have to necessarily be with your party members. You could also form them with any other character you've met so far. And bonds aren't always positive. If you want one of your bonds to be like fucking hatred for this Dragon Slayer guy, it can be that.
Yeah, going with that. His name is Saint George.
Sir George, there are no saints. God does not exist.
So I have
Gods
6
do.
bonds now, but I don't know how to add more. 'Cause I got the 4 in the group, the Sphinx, and the Heartless Witch. Or the Heart Returned Witch.
I think 6 is technically the max for your, at least like in the way Babby Ultima is standardly built. So I would say strengthen a bond at this point. Or alternatively, like, you can delete the Heartless Witch bond and then just write that down in like some character notes or something, but that's still there. Because it's probably not going to be as pressing as like a bond with Scrunt.
Yeah. Or
Like maybe make the 6 bonds on your character sheet in the bond section be the 6 most important bonds or most developed bonds, and the rest be like an addendum. Because I don't think I'm going to go off the limit that the game gives of how many bonds we can, like how many characters we can form bonds with. Because I feel that's unnecessarily limiting.
I feel like based on some of the techniques and stuff, I feel like 6 is definitely really a surprising limit.
Yeah, so I'm going to say you're going to have more, you just get to put those in your character notes. Unless I am misreading the sheet and there's some way to add bonds that I'm just not seeing.
I took a look. I don't see
I
it.
added Sir George as a bond to Mistrust.
Fair.
I'm going just to add Scrunt at this point in time. And at this point, I'm going to put Mistrust.
He's a sneaky little Scrunt.
Montblanc takes one look at Scrunt and goes, "He's just kind of joined along, and we didn't question it. And we've not questioned why he's been here. I'm not sure he's questioned why he's been here. But I'm not sure about that."
Yeah, and I'm not sure what sort of bond Scrunt would form aside for the hatred bond with Sir George, because...
Oh, you're a dragon.
Exactly.
Well, do you have any feelings towards your teammates yet, or are you just sort of annoying them for the time being?
Annoying them for the time being, I feel
Alright,
like.
well, we'll put a rain check on bonds with them then.
Yeah, and also I think he's a little distracted by the fucking Dragon Slayer.
It's fair. Okay, I'm gonna add.
Longshanks went back to cat mode, right?
Yeah, and also in my backpack. They don't.
Yep.
Neither of us want anything to do with this Dragon Slayer, but it's also a free guard / throw this guy at the wolf if it comes out of the fucking woods.
Yeah.
So she'll take it. But I'm gonna add Montblanc because I haven't gotten him yet.
Nice.
I'm gonna go with loyalty because they're fairly steady so far, and he hasn't given her any reason to distrust him.
Huh.
But also, I don't admire him, and it's not affection yet. You're just a weird man.
Anyone else got some bonds I want to make, or shall we move on?
Well, I think it's too early for Edmund to really have an opinion on Scrunt.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm definitely going to go Mistrust for Sir George Garston.
Mm-hmm.
Mistrust specifically because he's a knight for profit, I think especially. Not
Fair.
only Edmund's feelings about knights and how they throw their lives away, but now this is a knight that's just doing things for profit and stuff too. So even completely different than his own parents.
I don't want to waste a bond on him, but it would definitely be hatred.
Oh, wonderful.
Like, I'm contemplating on putting admiration on for this fella. Because Mont Blanc goes, this is a well-traveled person who's seen many wonderful creatures and is going to be live capturing a rare monster. That would be really
Should do
neat
it.
to see.
Should do it.
Scrub.
Do it. It'll be funnier when he breaks your heart later.
If he does.
Yeah. All right. As you sit down to meal, it's like, so, Edmund, it was correct.
Yes. It's just not my normal shape.
Sir and Lady Guildford, I'm sorry I didn't use the correct titles earlier. How did they pass?
Well, I guess I can't say that I was there, only what I was told, that died valiantly in battle defending the king and all that.
That's good then, that they at least did their duty. But, it's a staggering loss. Supposedly?
Well, who can say what they all say just to sound nice versus what is real?
Edmund, my lad. I can't profess to have known them well, but I met them quite a few times. We sparred once. Your father had a mean left hook. They struck me as picture of knighthood.
Well, even the picture of knighthood could still take an arrow to the face at the start of battle.
And is there no nobility in that? In that sacrifice? Senseless as it may seem? They fought for a cause. They fought for the king, for the kingdom, for the people of the kingdom.
And what do you fight for?
I fight for people. The fact of the matter is, we live in a world that is still wild and untamed. And our species, we have created civilization. We have created art and music, writing, culture, and we are the vanguards of it, of a new form of existence. And we are under siege of all these wild forces. And most of the people in this world do not have the benefit of a castle or of armor. And when the wild comes to their door, they are left with the tools that the wild gave them, and humans are frail and fragile things. It's how I got into dragon slaying. I was not born a knight. I do not have a knight's manners. I have been told so several times at court. I was a peasant, and my town was under siege, and I did what I could to defend my people. And I've traveled since to do what I can to defend people since. And I sometimes have to take profit for it. It is expensive traveling, and it is expensive fighting creatures that have arcane abilities that make them highly resistant to slaying. But when I get to live my life the way I want, I'm out there helping people in villages like Hansen and Perrault. People who don't have someone to look out for them.
I see.
That's the kind of people that your parents were from my conversations with them. They looked out for the people in their care. You should take pride in where you come from.
Well, I'd certainly like to believe that, I suppose. Edmund's kind of in his head, kind of lingering a little bit on everything about the wild and thinking about his own predicament too with that. But Words don't really come to him at this time, just thoughts.
It's been a troublesome day for all of you. If you need to get some rest, feel free. I'll keep watch over the night. Make sure nothing comes out of the woods to eat us.
Before I go to bed, I would like to sketch the ravening beast.
Mm-hmm. You sketch the creature, and it takes a while for words to form. And before there's even a title, there's just, I don't know what that is. What did you just draw?
And there's just the answer, the ravening beast? Question mark.
You see ink drain from the page and the ravening beast appear, and description. You need to find out more about this. I don't know what it is, and that is concerning.
I would say anybody casually looking towards Mont Blanc at this point in time see, probably for the first time, even with the ravening beast having just hit, the color kind of just drained from his face just for the briefest of moments before he picks up the pen and scrawls back, "I will."
I say, good fellow. Mont Blanc it was, right?
Oh, my apologies. Yes.
Are you all right? What's wrong with your little diary there?
Oh, nothing. It's a small journal that I'm recording all sorts of magical creatures with.
Really? And he immediately swoops to your side. What sorts of things have you seen in your travels? Dragons? Any dragons in there?
There is.
You see Bright Eyes looking at you. Like, if you show him that page, she will rip your face off.
Only the one, and he is here with us.
I know all there's about Dronkale's Draca so far, so still you're a monster studier then.
Yes. I don't know if it actually has an official title, but I am experiencing the world outside of my usual parameters.
Writing your own bestiary. Well,
yes.
If you need help with publishing, I do know a few people.
I have a goal to at least see 100 creatures before I even consider that, and I'm not quite there yet.
Oh, it'll take some time, but this world is full of magic and
yes.
creatures that use it. From one bestiologist to another, I salute you, sir. It's a worthy endeavor.
Mont Blanc will shake his hand, and he will pull the book open to some of the earlier ones. He's like, actually, I do believe I was wrong.
Hey.
I actually have met another dragon. I can't believe I forgot him. And he will flip to the page of the Knucker of Ridgetooth River.
Oh, look at that creature. Look at the frills on it.
There is a
He was a
hissing
surprise.
noise.
The Knucker was quite a surprisingly fine fellow to have a conversation with.
I'm sure they generally are when they stay in their place.
Yes. I would not recommend going too after him. He was a bit flighty about these pirate doubloons he was guarding.
Yeah, they love their hordes.
Yes.
I've heard nothing of any Knuckers in the Ridgetooth River that need slaying, so I'll leave the beast alone.
Yes.
I don't go out to. I don't want you to think that I go out of my way to just kill these things willy-nilly. It's only when they're causing problems.
And he nods. He's like, so there's a couple of other ones. I did run into a Kelpie, and I actually have a rather interesting scar, he says, pulling up the leg to the Kelpie bite mark.
Just survive that, good fellow.
With the help of my companions here, yes.
Oh, a barnacle goose!
Oh, yes, this is Barnaby. Barnaby, say hello.
Quack. Well, you keep recording your adventures in that book, and when you get it finished, you track me down. I want to read it.
You know what, Sir George? I'll make that promise with you. And he smiles and he extends a hand.
George shakes it vigorously. All right. I'm assuming that we have expended our interactions with this character and would like to move on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think so for now.
Yeah. All right. So you have an uneventful sleep and arrive the next morning in the town of Peralt. George amicably parts with you and reminds you of his offer that he will be staying in the Cendrillon Inn and Tavern. And the town is yours to explore. Now, Peralt has a few things to look at. There is Godson Park. There is the Pan-denominational Temple. There is a tailor, Warlock Wally's Wares, a smithy, a magic shop, and the Museum of Peralt. As well as when you leave Peralt, there is a road leading to the city of Grimhelm, as well as a road to the Ridgetooth River, and another that leads to the wilderness itself. And you guys are, of course, coming from the south, because that's where Hansend is in relation to Peralt.
Okay.
Mont Blanc is dancing around, having a merry time
Roll
down
20
there.
is acting a little bit up. So
Is acting up?
acting up a little bit, but you guys can take the lead on figuring where to go.
And of course, the place that, quest-wise you have to go to is the Von Hubert Mansion, and also there's a cemetery. Don't worry about that.
I won't
Certainly
mention the
coffin
fact that it's
shape.
coffin shaped too, yeah. Are mines with the same place seen?
Just a cemetery.
No.
Now, I have heard a rumor there is a museum here in Peralt, and I have never been to a museum before. I wish to see what a museum is.
Should we find Leonie? Is that her name?
Yep, Leonie. So Leonie is engaged to Baron Cobalt von Hubert, who likely would live in the von Hubert mansion. You could go straight there if you wish. You could stop at some shops to spend some of that money in your pocket, if you would like beforehand.
I would also be concerned. I have not interacted with the higher tiers of society, but I don't think they particularly care for strangers showing up on doorsteps.
You might want to go to the tailor and get better clothes. Might be helpful.
Charles squints. She goes, "That's not how the rules of hospitality work."
Ah, here it does.
Ah, yes. Oh, it is the curse of money that corrupts the rules.
I
See,
Charles comes
that,
from the rules of hospitality mean some serious business.
Damn straight they do.
I have no doubt. But like I said, we know Annie, but we don't know if she's there yet because the wedding hasn't happened yet.
What about
Did you say any like Carlos's nickname for Winifred from Oasis Valley?
No.
yes, you did.
Dang, Navigray. You're crossing the streams.
It's coming up next week.
Fucking weirdo.
But yes, I think I would like to at least go check out the museum first, and then maybe peruse around town and make sure that she's not there first before we go in and knock on a gentleman's door we know by reputation only.
Shouldn't we also visit for the Phoenix Feathers?
Oh yeah, we have to go talk to the
Magic shop owner?
magic shop owner. Or well, hold on. Town guard gave me a town map, and there's something called Warlock Wally's Wares.
I mean, you don't even need that. Like, when you get to the town square, these are the things you see. Like, that's the merchant section of the town, the place that they want travelers to stop at. you can see a sign for Warlock Wally's wares. And a magic shop, and a smithy, of a Cendrillon Inn and Tavern, a tailor, and the Museum of Perrault.
At least everything's easy to find.
I feel like a bit of shopping is in order. You know, being a beast and all, it's been a long time since I've really been able to splurge.
Yeah,
Absolutely
by the
fair.
way, do we see just like townsfolk around? And if so,
There
how are
are
they reacting to Charles Edmund and Scrunt?
there are townsfolk around, and they do give you guys some queer glances, but it was also noticed that you guys came into town with Sir George Garston, famous dragon slayer of Midgahheim.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of assume you're on the up and up. He's an adventurer. You're some weird, adventurous-looking people. Probably just some fellow heroes he met along the road. I mean, if the Dragon Slayer didn't kill your dragon companion, he must be a decent dragon.
Speaking of
Makes
that, Scrunt is gonna try and figure out a place to buy like a cloak he can put over himself so he doesn't draw the attention of future dragon slayers immediately.
Oh, there's a tailor over there, Scrunt.
Yeah.
Would you like to go visit the tailor?
I shall go on my own.
Nope, it's too late. I'm going with you.
Charles is literally wearing antique armor.
Yep.
Well,
Are we hitting the tailor first?
Yes.
I guess so.
Wouldn't be a bad idea if we plan on going up to a nobleman's house.
You see a well-dressed peasant, peasant merchant, running the tailor's like, "Hello, welcome to my tailor's shop. Please don't visit the cemetery after dark."
Worrying statement?
Yeah,
Just
you
a
gotta.
thing I like to say. Newcomers, new faces. Don't go to the cemetery after dark. Trust me, you'll regret it. Hey, what can I do for you?
My friend Scrunt here is looking for some clothing.
Cloak.
It is quite a way to
Looks-
break the ice.
Looks at the little dragon's like, all right, that's a challenge, but I think I can manage it. I can get all of you 100 for 100 zenith. I'll give you all beautiful outfits. Why am I using the George Garston voice? Get out of there.
Get out of there.
That would be quite kind of you, sir. I'd be more than happy to pay.
I would appreciate
All right,
that, yes.
you all get fancy outfits tailored for your body size, even those of you who are monsters, which gives you +2 to checks made to persuade civilized people to listen to you. And 100 zenith is
The
taken.
beast ball gown outfit or ball outfit?
Yes, yes.
All right,
Oh my
we
god.
should. We have to draw those now.
Yes, you do. Someone has to. I've got a lot of shit I'm drawing for this. But yeah, so this gives you a +2 checks made to persuade. So those people listen to you. Like, basically, like, anything diplomatic or talky you do with a noble that requires you to try and get them to, like, hear you out. No matter what, like, traits are rolled for it, you get a +2 bonus to it while wearing these outfits.
I'm trying to see if this is something we can add on the equipment, or is it better just to be a note?
Just a note. It's gear you have.
Yeah. Okay.
I made an
So-
inventory tab.
And that's basically the only thing I do in this shop.
And you do it well.
You have seen me serve my function in this story. You can leave now.
Well,
Plus
thank you
two-
very much. We really do appreciate it.
+2 to checks relating with high society.
Yeah, essentially. Well, actually, any civilized people. If you show up in a fancy outfit and you're talking to a peasant, the peasant's going to assume you're rich and important. I better listen to what they say.
Okay.
All right. There's a few more shops you can visit here.
They did.
Did we? By the way, did we split up the gold? Is that it?
I figured we
Gems.
did.
Okay, so that would have been 400 for everyone.
Yeah.
No, it would have been... Okay, yeah. The outfits cost 100 zenith total. Taken out of, so split 5 ways, it's 20 zenith apiece.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I thought you
Oh,
meant
okay.
100 apiece.
It's like,
No, that'd
damn,
be a
these are
little.
fancy.
That'd be a little steep.
Hmm.
I mean, they're fancy outfits, but
Okay.
they're not that
So
fancy.
20 each.
So add 80 back.
Nice. Okay.
All right. So you've got Warlock Wally's, the Smithy, the Magic Shop. You could also visit the Cendrillon Inn and Tavern and the Museum of Peralt. They're not shops, but they do have things in them.
I wish to go check out the museum briefly, but that is the bookworm in me, allegedly.
Yeah.
Nobody minds. I'm going to go
The
hang out at the tavern for a minute.
feathers.
Yeah, and Scrunt's going to follow Bright Eyes.
I'm
Alright.
gonna sit in the tavern like a creepo and listen to everybody talk.
Mm-hmm. You learn things. You learn so much by listening to people.
I
Okay.
literally do. I have tavern talk.
Okay,
Hey.
Edmund, I will go to the magic shop with you with the feathers as long as we go to the museum afterwards.
Yeah.
Isn't it Warlock Wally's
I want to
wares?
check everything.
Wait, which one
Um,
was it supposed to go to for the feathers?
The
I-
Magic Shop, specifically the Magic Shop. Warlock Wally's wares is different.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't have any reason. Oh, wait, but I'm passing by a smithy, and that has me curious.
Henry?
Alright.
Magic shop first. Magic shop first.
Okay. So, Charles, where are you going?
Yeah, I'm tagging along.
All right. I'm gonna
I'm
because
curious
they
about
said
the museum.
it first. I'm gonna go with Scrunt and Bright Eyes in the inn and tavern. When you get in the Cendrillon Inn, one of the first things you notice, there's a boat.
It's a boat?
There's a
A
boat. There's a boat propped up against the corner of the bar, and a little sign saying "Boat Rentals, 10 zenit a day."
Huh.
Interesting.
Second thing you notice, good number of people crowded around a table in the opposite corner of the bar where that fucker George Garston is sitting and regaling them with tales of daring do and making your teeth on edge.
I don't know if Scrunt noticed how irritated Bright Eyes was with George last night
Mm-hmm.
because she's tried to sit away. But you notice now when she just kind of makes a really low noise.
And with that, Bright Eyes gets Grunt's bond of loyalty.
Yeah, well, this is an interlude scene, so I'll allow it. I mean, technically, it's an
Yeah.
interlude scene. And then the third thing the two of you notice is another table closer by you, because you're at the entrance, where someone's like, "Yep, got another wife already. Moves on fast, gotta give him that." We'd have to, given...
She's gonna like scoot a little closer to that conversation without drawing attention to herself with her tavern talk. See what she can get out of that, because that's worrying. And also,
Mm-hmm.
He's running out of options, isn't he? I mean, the last aristocrat he courted bailed on him. Smart lass. No kidding. Now he's going for merchants' daughters. Pretty soon he'll be marrying peasants. Well, they'd have to be peasants to be dumb enough to fall for it, or desperate. I'll give the man his credit. She is a wealthy merchant's daughter, and there's talk that the imbecile patriarch will be knighted within a year.
fuck is going on here?
Yeah, knighted and less one child. Lucky bastard.
Wow. She also doesn't like these two people talking about it.
And yeah, the whenever you hear anything related to the pending nuptials, it is people with very cynical outlooks on what's going to happen, assuming that, much like the other brides of their baron, Leone Imbecile has a very short lifespan ahead of her.
Huh. That's all she wanted to do at the tavern. If Scrunt wants to do something,
Not particularly, because, Dragon Slayer
Yep.
doesn't
That's
want
also fair.
attention drawn.
so
All right. So, meanwhile, at the magic shop. All right. The magic shop. Of a person in authentically, like, handmade, but still very Halloween costumey wizard robes of, like, big stars and moons on them, and a pointy hat that's kind of bent, walks out. They've got, like, the scraggly beginnings of a beard, and they're like, "Oh, welcome to my magic shop!"
Oh my god.
Hello. We were sent here by a mutual friend who told us you'd be able to help us.
Okay, what do you need?
Um,
God.
Damn Muppets.
I'm a wizard. I've got
Charles didn't
magic,
say that out loud.
and I've got stabs and open shields.
Oh god.
nice.
I can't
Um,
breathe.
How far along in lich rot is this guy?
He doesn't seem to be a particularly good or experienced wizard. He does not have extreme lich rot, and he might be putting on a voice to try and seem more magical and failing utterly. Can I interest you in this Nosferanonomica?
Maybe in a minute.
Here with these feathers.
Yes.
Ash.
Sycoraxine sent us your way to potentially help with a phoenix potion of sorts.
Whoa, let's see here.
God.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you got 50 gold pieces / zenith in the mechanical terms of the RPG that we're in, I could turn a feather into a revival potion that will allow you to bring a person back to life from recent death. No longer than like an hour, though. After that, it's gonna turn out weird.
So 50 gold apiece.
50 gold apiece! This is a very expensive and rare potion, and crafting it will be a pain in my ass!
I appreciate your honesty about that.
You guys think sounds pretty necessary. Might be worth
We
it.
have 2 feathers. Should we just do one and hold on to the other one?
I will help put forward one if someone else will put forward for another. I am deathly concerned with how the rumors I've heard and our good friend who is currently engaged lifespan might be.
Oh,
Yeah, put forward for
are
the
you
other.
talking about that peasant girl who's marrying the Baron?
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, sorry, merchant's daughter. I guess we're treating them like they're their own class now. Yeah, she's gonna die!
oh.
Elaboration, please.
Oh, well, every woman that man tries to marry dies. It's been happening for, like, I don't know, like 10 years.
As he kills them?
No. If we thought that, we'd run the fucker out of town. We're not monsters.
I wasn't sure because, you have multiple wives over 10 years, you'd start suspecting,
Probably just consumption or, women problems.
To do with the cemetery?
Sorry, what was that, Charles?
Anything to do with the cemetery?
Oh, yeah. Has anyone told you should not go there after dark?
Yeah, that's exactly what we were told.
Is it because there's monsters?
Yeah! The Restless Dead, although I'm not supposed to tell outsiders about that, because if word gets out, people might stop coming to our town, and that would be bad for most of our businesses. Whoops!
Or most?
Oh, no worries, friend. Your secret is entirely safe with me. And he gives a very knowing wink to the
Well,
other
speaking
two.
of that,
Hold on there. I think with those words I just heard, maybe the Phoenix Feather potion is starting to sound more like it costs 30 gold pieces apiece.
Oh, you're blackmailing me. Oh, fuck, I knew this would happen. Alright, fine, 20 gold pieces apiece.
That's...
Alright.
Sure, okay, yes, we'll take it.
I love
He
you.
really is. He really is Midgheim Simon.
Speaking of if you're worried about the cemetery creatures, again, I have this wonderful Nosferomicon.
How much would the Nosferomicon cost?
500 gold?
I don't have
And
that.
he looks at Edmund. I can lower that price if you need me to.
What's the Necromancer, whatever do?
Well, it's a magic grimoire, and it contains not only spells and potent energies, but information on all types of undead, which means that you can look in the Midgheim Bestiary entries for all undead and know that knowledge in character now. That's a meta thing. I wouldn't describe that in story, but mechanically that's what it means. Also, it gives you a +2 bonus to magic and opposed checks against undead, and it does HR +5 light damage.
It might
It's a
actually
two-handed
unlock
melee book, and it uses double insight.
Would you be able to part with it for 300?
Yeah!
And then he will put the 300 down.
I also have an encyclopedia for, we'll say 300's now the price, like the last one, that is similar, only it's not specifically against the undead, and it does HR +5 physical instead of HR +5 light, and it makes you immune to being dazed.
About the undead?
Just in general.
I will have to stick with the Necronomicon, the Nosferomicon, sorry.
Well, can I sell you on this blessed staff? A one-handed melee weapon that uses double willpower, HR +2 light damage, and costs only, we'll say 150 zenith? Or alternatively, this Plague Doctor jacket, which gives you a +1 to defense, +1 to magic defense, and you're immune to being poisoned. Or this Umbral Shield, which gives resistance to dark and +2 defense.
Shield, what's that do?
It gives you resistance to dark and +2 to your defense.
I mean, I meant to say, what's the cost on that one, Ron?
600 gold. It's a
Oh. Never mind then.
Maybe before we leave town, kind of a thing. And you said the light staff was how much?
150. And it's a blessed staff.
That one I can't use because it's a two-handed, and I need to use my shield.
No,
for my
it's
guard
one-handed.
stuff. Oh,
It's a one-handed melee weapon, double willpower, HR +2 light damage.
give me just a second. I might actually think about that one.
Sure, take all the time you need at Warlock Wally's.
Wait, this is Warlock Wally's?
This is
This
a
is
member of the Warlock Wally family. It's probably not the same Warlock Wally that you might know from Wizard
I thought we
School
went to the
Mysteries.
magic shop.
Oh wait, shit! Yeah, you're right. We're in the magic shop.
Yeah, that's why I was confused.
Sorry, I got confused because there are two shops that have wizards in them.
Wait a second. Does that mean this is Walls Mart?
I hate
No, that's a hell dimension.
I hate
Yeah, this is the magic shop. Yeah, this is the magic shop. Sorry, I got confused by my own lore there. Disregard the Warlock Wally bit. But yeah, so
Yeah, I might actually go for that staff. 150,
No.
you said?
150.
What about 100?
Okay.
Hey, we will give you glowing reviews.
That was double
Sure.
willpower for.
Yeah, the staff, one-handed melee, double willpower for your rolls. Your high roll +2 light damage.
And I'm sure if we let Sir George know, you'll at least poke his head in to see what you have. I bet you have all.
No, I don't really get anything for Dragon Slayers today.
That's
Forever.
Yeah, they kind of suck a little bit.
What was that second book again?
The Encyclopedia. It's a magic weapon. It's two-handed. It's melee, double insight, high roll +5 physical damage, and it makes you immune to being dazed.
Magic's not really my cup of tea. I appreciate the Phoenix potion, but
Then you might want to go to the smithy, see if he can get you some cool stuff.
I think you're right.
Yes.
Well, I bought the one Phoenix potion for 20.
We do have some other friends we will recommend that are currently elsewhere. But now, with the Nosferamagon... Why did I say it like that?
Because it's a magic book, a grimoire!
It is the second most magic book I have. I'm going to go check out this fancy thing called a museum. I've never been to one of those.
Oh, enjoy! It tells you all about the town.
And the graveyard?
Hey,
Yeah! There's dead people there. That's basically the gist.
Okay. Maybe we'll find a ghost later. I'd like to see a ghost.
Oh, you will. You will.
Ups, turns. Awesome! I need him for my funky book.
Okay, that's strange.
Holds up the book with the moving eye.
Oh! I'd pay you money for that if you want.
No.
Oh. Alright, who's going to the museum?
I want to go to the smithy first.
Okay, you want to go to the smithy? Smithy, there's a gruff blacksmith. Hello, I'm the blacksmith. You can buy all basic starting equipment from the book that was listed there. Here, also, I can forge things for you if you bring me appropriate ingredients to forge cool shit.
That's an exciting sales pitch for sure.
You're welcome. It's like it's 9:54 and some of us have a deadline.
I think
Able to. Sorry.
I will think about what I want to buy. Let's cut that and let's go to the museum.
Alright.
I
The
can think about
museum.
what to buy.
The museum tells you the history of Perrault. Perrault's not a huge town. It's like the small end of medium size. And the museum is mostly about town history. A lot of it is dull, but there is one interesting fact. The town of Perrault was founded by Edmund von Hubert, who claimed that his godfather was death itself. He was a proficient magical healer, claiming his skills had been aided by a magic shot glass that Death had given to him as a birthday present, which showed him when a person was beyond saving, and if the person was still able to be saved from death, he would sprinkle them with water from the glass and their diseases would miraculously heal. Or so it said. The godson passed a few generations ago, but the town is so thankful for him that they actually have erected statues in his honor. Godson Park is named after him. And as a result, Perrault is a hub for religions that focus on death and the afterlife of the undiscovered country. People routinely go there on pilgrimages to hopefully contact their loved ones, or at least find some solace in their passing. It's also why Perrault has a very large cemetery for a town this size. It is a town that, in some ways, is blessed by death.
Weird that the dead are restless then.
Ghosts.
That's what you find out at the Museum of Perrault.
Well, that was fascinating. I think I like museums.
Quick question.
Mhm.
The smithy, would he be the one we talked to about, like, that's something about enchanting weapons and armor? With
Yep,
the
he talked
Phoenix
about
Ash?
if you bring him materials, he can make or upgrade weapons so that they have elements of that material.
Okay.
Okay.
So if, for example, you had some fire-aligned material, he could use it to make a weapon that deals fire damage instead of might damage, or a weapon that, or armor or shields that have fire resistance instead of just normal defense, or in addition to their normal defense.
Say, what can you do with some Phoenix Ash?
I can make your weapons fire-aligned, and I can make your armor have fire resistance.
I think that might be
One
good for
dose of
destroying
ash
them.
per piece of thing you want me to forge with it. And the cost is 10 gold a pop.
Yeah, that's affordable.
Yep, I'm to the point because Shady Cinderella Hour is in 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't want to use all of our supply, so I'll just use one sampling of this on my sword, please.
All right. Chupa chapa chupa. And he forges your sword into a flaming sword. So now the damage it does is specifically fire damage rather than physical.
Does all the rolling stay the same?
All the rolling is still the same, still same damage. It's just a sword that now deals fire damage rather than standard physical damage. It's not
Okay.
normal type, it's fire type.
And that was 10 gold.
10 gold. You have 5 doses of Phoenix Ash left. Actually, you have 7, because every time you have an interlude scene, your sweet little Phoenix chick will release some ash for you to use.
Oh,
So we're down to 7.
what a sweet little guy.
I don't want to waste it all myself, so leave it up to you guys if you want to decide to do anything with that.
I'll have to think on it.
Yeah, I'll think on it for next time.
I'd boost my shields, maybe.
All right.
But that's
We're reaching Shady's Cinderella Hour. How do you want us to proceed, Shady?
I can hop off and y'all can do like various misc things if you so desire, because Scrunt's going to just be on edge and quiet because he doesn't want to set the Dragon's Lair upon him with the rage of the Thousand Suns, which he probably wouldn't do, but at the same time, Scrunt doesn't know that. Scrunt is a dragon, and that guy has a sword.
True. And Pokey Boots
So-
to kick you in the ass with, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want to just prolifically shit all over the place and then fly up and die. Like, profusely shit. That would have been better.
I mean, both words work pretty good. If you're sure, Shady.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. They might hit like one story beat, but you can probably figure out what that's going to be given all the foreshadowing.
It's fine. You guys have fun. Enjoy yourself. Punch a ghost for me if you can.
We'll try.
Laters.
Later,
What?
Shady.
Okay.
Well, should we visit? Everybody kind of met back together.
Yeah, more or less.
Should we visit the Warlock just to see what's there?
Might as well.
I wonder if he'll be as fun as the wizard. Also, I have a new book. It has teeth on the cover.
And Charles has a new fancy stick.
Those are both very interesting.
If you visit the magic shop, maybe give him just a little hint, nudge, nudge about those prices.
folded very easily.
And she's like, thank you for the tip. She's also thinking, I'm not gonna take that man's livelihood away from him. That's mean.
You'll inform them on what items are there, just in case any of this sound good for
Yeah,
Bright Eyes or Scrunt later.
yeah. I'll eventually post everything that's available to buy here, so
Okay.
You can have a list. So you guys want to go to Warlock Wally's?
Yes.
All right. You go into Warlock Wally's, and it is in the grand tradition of TT-run tabletop RPGs, a magic curio shop full of all sorts of weird shit, and the curtains at the back fling open as this wizard floats into the air with an aura of purple around him and says, "Behold the fabulous treasures of Warlock Wally! All of them rare and quite expensive, yet reasonably priced, given their potency. What can Wally the Fourth do for you?"
You're the fourth?
Yes! The
Then Wally
Fourth
showing up in a-
Warlock Wally! My father was also named Walter, as was his grandfather and his father before him.
You lived in this town long?
Ooh.
No.
No, I set up shop about 5 months ago.
Oh, okay.
Mike's it's going here.
It's doing all right. I get some good business.
Good.
Behold! I have pendants of resistance, one for each type of magic in the Fabula Arcanum book. That is to say, fire, light, etc., etc. And each costs only a measly 700 gold apiece.
He definitely knows what he has more than the fucking other wizard does.
Or perhaps you prefer something more theatrical. I would offer you this plumed helm, which gives you a +1 to all accuracy checks, and costs only 1,000 gold. Or perhaps you wish for something with more stealth, in which case I may offer the Ring of Tails. When you roll a critical success with it, you gain an opportunity that allows you to generate a Fabula point, which only costs a mere 1,500 gold. And for those of you looking to be real tough guys, I have Thunderbolt Iron Plate Armor, which gives you 14 defense, willpower, and uses willpower plus 4 magic defense, and gives you resistance to all magic types for a measly 5,000 gold.
Yeah.
Antique
Those-
bronze armor.
Those sound wonderful. Wonderfully outside of my price range.
Reasonably priced for what they are. It's almost like you should come back to this shop later when you have more money.
Getting that feeling, yes.
Then get the fuck out!
Okay.
You know?
Do you think you would have been nicer to us if we had dressed nicer?
No, I think I'd
Oh,
be
yeah,
nicer to you
that's
if you could
bad.
afford my shit.
God
Hey,
damn it.
Magical Warlock Wally, could I draw you?
Fuck no! I'm not one of your Frankish girls.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
If you want to draw me nude, you gotta pay.
Oh, you don't have to
Quite
be nude.
handsomely.
You don't have to be nude, no.
Oh, I see. You're gonna undress me with your eyes, are you? No, I'm not doing that. Not for anything less than 50,000 gold.
Or
Oh, I hate and love this guy. There are so many conflicting emotions. God.
Well, get the fuck out of my shop, you poor bastards! Do some more quests or something.
that's fair. Alrighty, have fun. Hopefully the wolf doesn't eat you.
Yes, I'm staying in a shop, so I think I'm okay. There's walls around this city.
Alright,
Okay.
Notes for later.
Do we want to visit the park after we visited the museum? Get all the sightseeing in?
I'll let you have that one for free. So the park is a very nice park. The most notable thing about it is a statue in the park. The statue at the museum talked about to the founder of Perrault.
I sketched the statue.
Edmund von Hubert and his godfather.
Godfather.
There's a large bronze statue of a handsome-ish young man with a shot glass, and hovering above him, with its bony hand on his shoulder, the looming figure of the Grim Reaper.
Alright.
The statue is labeled Godfather Death. When you sketch a statue, your book says, "That's a statue, my dude."
Does it seem similar to statues of Thanatos that Charles would have seen back home? At the little shrines?
In the Bretonch version of Mediterranean religion, often Thanatos and Hermes and Hades and Persephone and all of the Sophionic gods are represented as more generic Grim Reapers, as part of Mediterranean's sort of acclimating a little bit to the culture of Breton's itself. And Breton's death is generally characterized in a more literal fashion than the more involved and unique psychopomps of Mediterra. So you've probably seen depictions of Thanatos. They're not authentically Mediterranean depictions, but rather Bretonch depictions of Thanatos as the Grim Reaper. But the Grim Reaper imagery itself is more a Bretonch image of death than anything else. Or really a Franco-Breton image of death.
Okay.
I will respond to it. Well, I'd like to have a page where we could both A, casually chat like we're in a park, and B, I don't really want to plan on meeting death.
Well, I'm sorry, dearie, but you're on an adventure. Death and you are going to become fairly close friends.
I mean, yeah, but it's a little early for that.
That's the thing about death, sweetheart. It always comes when you least suspect.
That's true. I got a book called there's 3 different attempts of spelling the Nosferamicon. It's got teeth.
Yep, that sounds like a fairly popularly published grimoire. Of course, the witches and wizards who publish their grimoires are, in my opinion, not particularly devoted to their craft.
Fair. I just bought it because there's allegedly a haunted graveyard I'm not supposed to go into after dark. So I'm going to go out into it after dark and sketch things.
That's my boy. I imagine the information is useful. I only request that you only record creatures you see, not ones that you've read about in the book.
Of course, that'd be cheating.
Exactly. I'm glad we understand each other.
We understand each other. That's that is threatening.
Why would the book be threatening? It's nice. I drew a picture of the park so it could go to the person who's on the other side can go to the park in a sense.
That's a
That
sweet
site has
sentiment.
an unpleasant look about it. It looks sassy.
It is supposed to look a bit like a raven's head.
Yeah.
A little bit of Morrigan influence from the Celtic pantheon. Franco-Breton is very much a melting pot of cultures. All right, so that's the park. Are you guys ready to meet Bright Eyes' ex-fiance?
Not that she's told you that yet, or that she's a she.
Yes.
Let's go meet this Bluebeard feller.
Well, thanks.
Right, you seem pretty fired up about this whole Count's guy. What are you, concerned he's going to take all the eligible women out there in the world from you?
No, not exactly.
All right. You travel along a fairly well-tended path through the woods surrounding Peralt. Thankfully, no wolves attack you. And you come to the manor of Baron Cobalt von Hubert. And as you enter the gateway, you are greeted with another statue, a very different statue than the one you've just encountered. A statue made with the egos of aristocrats in mind, of Baron Cobalt von Hubert.
Oh my fucking god.
A statue where Baron Cobalt von Hubert's shoulders stand about 7 heads apart. His biceps the size of watermelons. Just in general, it's a statue that seems to completely exaggerate his proportions to an almost absurdly comical degree in an attempt to make him look more heroic and intimidating and magnificent. Which is to say, the kind of statue most royals commission for themselves.
Oh my goodness.
I can appreciate the artistic intent.
I had so much fun drawing this. I giggled the whole time.
Well, you should.
I made sure the horse was pretty fucked up too.
Yeah.
It is.
It almost looks more kelpie than horse, really, in the face.
It's got workhorse hooves, but a kelpie head.
And donkey ears.
It's pointy.
If I see
I just
one
like
alive
that,
like
everyone's
that,
just standing out on the front lawn, just critiquing this statue.
We are in Noble's clothes. That is our right to do.
And as you stand up along, critiquing the statue, the door opens, and a familiar face appears. Leonie Imbecile, still dressed in the fine but not aristocratic clothes of a merchant's daughter, sounds like, "Oh my god! Hey! Hey, what are you guys doing here?"
Oh,
And she runs out to meet you.
We didn't want to miss your big day.
"Oh my god, that's so sweet! We only knew each other an afternoon!"
Well, nobody else seemed to be coming. Like she's trying to be delicate.
Oh, so how did things turn out?
Oh, well,
I mean, obviously you're not pigs and donkeys, so they must have been well.
it turns out that the witch took her heart out, couldn't feel emotions, and we gave it back, and everything is fine now.
The famine too.
Are you talking literally or figuratively?
yes.
Literally, yes.
Oh, that's fucked
Pull
up.
out some of the food from the pack, showing it's like, yeah, this was all magically grown, like, very quickly.
Well, holy shit! I always told them that they should stop being a dick to her.
Yep.
So everybody's all right now.
Good. It's excellent. Well, come on inside. I'll let you see the place.
Okay. And she'll follow.
I look forward to it. I haven't been inside a house this big before.
All right. You enter the manor of Baron Cobalt von Hubert, and sitting there, or standing there on a fine, carpet with a beautiful pattern on it, is Baron Cobalt von Hubert. Gaunt man, roughly in his mid-40s, beginning to gray. Nowhere near the massive physical specimen of his statue. In fact, he's very slim and svelte. And with just an overwhelming air of tragedy. He takes grief to ludicrous extremes. He is a sighing, moaning, weeping mess, a rain-drenched cat of a man, with an aura of self-focused misery and tragedy so palpable you could cut it with a spoon. Baron, honey, we've got visitors. They're friends of mine. We've known each other for ages. Oh, visitors. Welcome to my mansion. Any friends of my beautiful fiancée are friends of mine. Are you here for the nuptials? I am afraid they will not take place for another week.
Well, we didn't want to miss
Yes.
it, so we might have gotten here early in our...
Yeah, they are my oldest friends. They have known me, like, since I was a kid. So, like, it's really important that, like, they stay here. Like, could we, like, give them free lodging? But of course, I apologize, we have not yet had the guest rooms cleared, but there are spare beds in the servants' quarters here. You are free to spend the nights in them until I can get more suitable accommodations ready for you.
We appreciate the kind gesture.
That's very courteous.
You notice that on the walls around him there are many portraits, many of which are of him, and they feature the same sort of distorted physique as the statue out front. And then there are some with empty frames, and one portrait that is not of the Baron. And it sends a shiver down your spine, Bright Eyes. Because while this portrait is idealized, it's clearly based on one that your parents had taken of you and the rest of your family about 3 years ago.
Ah.
And Mont Blanc and Charles and Edmund. You can roll a double insight check to notice the resemblance. The difficulty level is 10.
Double insight.
Double insight.
Definitely not.
Nope.
Mont Blanc doesn't react.
But the Baron notices Bright Eyes. His eyes are like, oh, I see you've noticed the portrait. That was of a previous fiancé who tragically disappeared before we could even meet in person.
Oh, I'm
I-
sorry.
Meaning to replace it with one of my beautiful wife-to-be here. Oh, yeah. And she turns to you guys like, and she mouths, they're giving me the biggest boobs. And then smiles really bright and gives you double thumbs up.
What did you say?
Giving me the biggest boobs.
Yes, as you can see, the artists capture the true essence of aristocracy. I didn't realize my shoulders were so broad before, but they're all so unanimous in this depiction. It clearly shows the nobility of my rank.
Indeed
I see.
does.
Sure.
Yeah, and the portrait they're going to make of me, it's going to be so beautiful, and they're going to put them in all these empty frames and replace whoever this lady is. Ah, yes. Oh, I fear the curse took her before we even met. Oh,
Curse?
yes, the curse! The dreaded curse! All of my wives, all of them dying before their time. And he pulls out a handkerchief and begins to cry into it. I'm so lonely.
Mont Blanc kind of like looks to everyone's like, do I pat his back? I'm just gonna pat his back and just very gently. He's like, it's okay, bud, let it out.
And he immediately like grabs you and in a bear hug and just begins weeping into your shoulder. They all die on me. This house is so empty. It's just me and my dozens of servants.
Oh.
Leonie gets in there and Beth's like, it's okay, I'm not gonna die. Your money's gonna keep me nice and safe, okay? So just don't worry, just think about how happy we're gonna be with your big fabulous fortune, alright? He's gonna stop crying in front of people.
Okay, and he's just like sympathetically patting him, just like,
I'm sorry, I forget myself. I am supposed to be the peak of aristocratic strength and memory. It's just so hard. All of my beautiful wives, and each interred into the soil of the earth.
God.
In the cemetery? Or a
Sorry, what?
mausoleum? In the
Oh,
cemetery, or do you have a family plot?
My mausoleum in the cemetery, the von Hubert family mausoleum, is the centerpiece of the Perrault cemetery, in fact.
Oh,
hmm.
Oh, beautiful wives. Oh, how my heart aches for them. Taking their pictures out of the portraits is so hard each time.
There is
Well, I'm gonna live for a good long while, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Yes. Yes, perhaps this time the curse won't take effect. Yeah.
And like Montblanc's going to share a glance with the rest of them, and there's just this small, I'm sorry, but I have to look. And it's like, well, we just helped someone through a curse that they thought wasn't completely indomitable, and maybe we can help you break yours.
What you do? You think you could save my precious wife? And he pulls Leonie close, and she looks a little uncomfortable by the swiftness of the action, but quickly smiles along. You could save my beautiful plump wife? Okay, stop using that word, please.
We will do our best to make sure she stays alive
Oh,
as we break this curse.
I would
He
be
is, after
so
all, a dear
indebted
friend.
to you. So indebted. To think we could have a long and happy life together. And you could birth me children. Yep, that's part of the deal.
There is a complicated look on Bright Eyes' face right now.
Oh, happy day. Oh, we shall throw a sumptuous feast once I have the staff back tomorrow.
Back tomorrow?
Why are the staff not currently in?
Oh, I did not expect Leonie to arrive so quickly with the news of the things on the road. I figured she would have to hire a caravan. Nope, kind of rushed here. Yes, so I sent the staff away because all they do is remind me of my unbearable loneliness.
Can get that.
Oh.
And just like sympathetically nodding. Comprehension 0, but sympathetically nodding.
Edmund gets it on some level.
Oh. Well, I thank you for your kind offer to remove this burden upon my soul, this great weight with which I have suffered. And all for the sake of my dear beloved wife, your beloved long-known friend. Yep, known them for my whole life, basically.
Well, if we're talking about curses now, I think we need to get down to the details. How'd you get cursed? Were you walking through the woods and then you made an off comment to some strange woman and then she cursed you?
No, I don't rightly know when the curse occurred, or how, or by whom. I only know that on the night of my first nuptial, my beautiful wife, she died, wasting away of the consumption. The doctors told me it was but a common plague or disease. They could not find the specific vapor or hideous malodorous source of the rot. We've searched the house countless times for any source of infection, but could not find it. And yet all of my wives just waste away, life drained from them by some fashion.
We will have to dig into it.
Yeah, it sounds pretty fucked up, but it's not gonna happen to me, right, buddy?
Yep.
Not if we can help it.
Oh, to watch each of them in the delicate bloom of youth wither and die, like a flower that withers and dies.
Yeah, that's rough.
I'll fetch a poet to make a better simile.
Also,
That's what they're there for, to make aristocrats look cool.
true. I just want to, just 1 second, because there's a lot of comments going on in the chat, and Maple Samurai's "the curse of me stabbing them with a knife" made me laugh really fucking hard. Why is my doorbell ringing? Hold on 1 second.
Aaron Cobbled von Hubert in reality!
Dun, dun, dun.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yes, I didn't realize it till the museum, but we're in Lavender Town.
Mm-hmm.
We're in fucking Lavender Town.
You gotta have your spooky arc in a good RPG.
Hmm.
No, that's fair.
DZ's comment. I am not a knight for profit. Dragon slaying is expensive work. It's upkeep.
I'm not answering that. Fuck you. Act like a fucking knight, eat my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, I'm back though.
Fair. So yeah.
Is this our stopping point for the night with the having access to the rooms and everything?
I mean, we got half an hour. We can roleplay a bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm up for it. I just wanted to make sure that my door was locked.
Yeah.
All right. So, any more questions for Cobalt?
I think that's about as far as I know about curses.
Yeah, he doesn't know how it started or why it started, so this
Or even how it works?
just sounds like a weird...
I mean, since there are so many curses historically in Metaterra stories, would any of this ring a bell with Charles? He did have like some minor priestly training before he just decided to go full
The
farmer.
problem is the only details you have, they're wasting away and dying, are vague, and there's a lot of shit that could be, including
Yeah.
mundane shit like, you know,
Like just disease.
black mold and actual disease. The fact that it happens to each bride or bride to be is concerning. The fact that no one could figure it out in a town that is full of healers probably rules out at least a mundane explanation. As this was a town founded by a great doctor, and people have continued that tradition. I mean, even the fucking magic shop was selling like plague doctor's robes and everything. People know how to deal with mundane shit here using magic. So it probably is some sort of magic malady, but the thing is there's like a billion things that could be doing that.
Yeah. It's so generic, that's the problem.
You need more details, and clearly this weepy fuck doesn't know anything.
Yeah, it's like, all right, it's like getting a doctor's diagnosis. All right, the symptoms are inflammation and swelling. Anything else?
Okay, honey, you seem really verklempt. Why don't you go into your room and have a good brood? Oh, my beautiful plump wife. Yep, stop using that word. I shall do as you say. Oh! And he goes into his room and shuts the door, and you hear a lock click. And when he's gone, Leonie looks at the door for a second, and turns to you guys like, okay, I know what's fucking wrong here. The house is fucking haunted.
Incredible fellow, isn't he?
That's helpful.
He's a fucking aristocrat. You know how they are.
Haunted how?
No. Yeah. Wait. Bug Bug.
It's
New book.
oh yeah, right, new book. He picks up the one strapped to his back because he keeps the good one on his hip. And flips it open and starts going through. Okay, so I have a book on spooky dead things.
Okay, so I don't know about ghosts. I'm a fucking merchant. What I do know is I've slept here a couple of nights now. I hear fucking giggling at night. I've opened my door and seen candles floating by themselves. And then last night I was trying to sleep and I felt this presence in the room, and it was just terrifying. And I covered myself up with blankets, and then I felt a great cold weight on me, like someone sitting on my chest, and something whispered in my ear, "You're going to die."
Oof.
It's like that's ghost shit, right? That's ghost.
That's
Yeah.
definitely.
That one about the whispering wasn't one of the house staff?
The house staff isn't here. They haven't been here the whole fucking time. I think this guy's just been sitting here alone for days.
Oh.
I get
Or
the
longer.
vibe.
So Montblock's face right now is entirely the wrong emotion because it is ghost. We will get to the bottom of this and help deal with the
That's fine.
haunting specters.
I'm sorry for saying that we know each other better than we do, but like I kind of need your help, okay? Because this fucker is no help. He's a fucking idiot. But you guys, if you figured out the whole witch thing, you could figure this out, right? It's like a ghost. It can't be that hard.
Wasn't there like a church or something in town? Can't they come and like do their, say a prayer and dispel any hauntings in the house?
For a fee?
They might have already tried.
For a fee, but you're marrying rich.
Yeah, but I don't
My
get the
feeling
money
is-
yet. I don't get shit until we actually tie the knot on this thing.
My guess is that this mausoleum where all the other previous wives or brides are stored might be a thing, considering talking to a few of the merchants in town, they've said do not go out there at night because the dead walk.
Okay, yeah, so if you can convince the fucking Baron to let you into the damn place, that could maybe yield something, I guess.
Oh, he seems fairly suggestible.
You think so, but he's really, really tight-fisted when it comes to the family shit.
Well,
Fair.
this
Like,
is-
it sounds like I've got, like, at least a week. You could just stay the night and, like, maybe we could just beat it up.
Yeah, like we can stay the night, see what's haunting the house here, and then if it's something more, we need to go to the graveyard. We can convince them after we've spent the night beating up a ghost. It's a lot easier when you make a lot of noise beating up a ghost.
Can you beat up a ghost?
I don't see why not. It's just like a dead person, right? I mean, they're probably easy to beat up because they're all like desiccated.
It's worth a try. I don't
And,
have much else
uh,
to start with.
Charles seems to remember something. Goes, oh, Leonie, do not be alarmed if you see scurrying about a small yellow dragon draconic thing. He's a friend.
Yeah, we found him in the swamp and he just followed us.
Not sure
Isn't-
where he got off to at the moment, but
Grunt is a wonderful friend.
Well, that's cool by me. Dragons are pretty cool. They don't eat you, I guess.
just letting you know that he's not a ghostly manifestation, but a friend.
Man, fuck, a ghost dragon would be hardcore.
That would be hardcore.
I don't know if we want that hardcore.
I want that hardcore.
I know you do.
But I'm just like, I've never hit, like, I got the book. I'm supposed to illustrate monsters. I didn't even think about a ghost until I came into this town. Ghosts count. And there's so many ghosts.
So,
No ghosts, so I guess we're
Well-
staying up ghost hunting.
Ghost hunting.
shit, that was easy. You guys rock.
Might be able to recall some rituals that might help.
That's what we have the Nosferomicon for.
A Nosferonicon.
Oh no, I know how to say it. The Nosferonicon. I know how to say it. Montblanc's like the Nosferomicon.
Of just curiosity, has the Baron showed you anything about certain treasures and other valuables you'll get once married?
Yeah, like that's the thing. He's fucking tight-fisted. He's got like a vault with all of his gold, but he hasn't shown me that. He hasn't given me a damn ring yet.
I see.
No offense, but it sounds like he's waiting to see if you'll break the record for survivability.
I mean, the other wives got fucking wedding rings. You can see it on the portrait there, the one he was planning to give what's-her-face.
There was a point in
curious
not
that
looking.
And Charlie's like, yes, it's curious that she's the only one that he's left up. If these other empty ones were the previous wives.
Well, apparently that was like his like opening gift for her. He told me all about how he was going to romance some other chick. So that was going to be his opening gift for her. It'd be like the big surprise. I bet she's not that stacked. And then the other ones they were going to replace with new portraits. So eventually to be filled with me, I guess.
Yeah, don't worry. She's got nothing on you. Don't worry about it.
She was the first one to leave, or the first wife. Sorry, I'm not sure if sorry, this is me stumbling over my own words. The one in the portrait, the mystery woman, was she before or after the first wife that died?
So, like, what happened is that he had gone through, like, this process of courting some noble chick, and then, like, the parents finally consented to it, and then she just up and disappeared.
There was no courting. She
Hmm?
takes her hat off.
Oh, shit!
I've never met this
You
man
have
in my
long
life.
hair.
Yes, thank you. I've never met this man in my life. There was no courting. There was only go marry this man.
Oh.
She tucks her hair back up real quick so he doesn't see that. There is something weird going on here.
Shit. Are you
Well,
mad at
why
me
you
for...
being so squirrely about coming here?
No.
I didn't know I was stealing from... I mean, if you...
I don't want anything to do with this.
Oh, thank fucking God, I need the money so bad.
I just wanted
Your going away feast was rather extravagant.
It was my entire dowry, and my dad's really pissed.
I only said something now because if he's saying he courted me, he didn't.
I mean, I guess that scans. He didn't really court me. He just sent me a letter. A really
And-
desperate letter.
So it's like,
I don't know what nobles are exactly like. I come from a simple town, but
I mean, they all
Could
look
be
at you
that
like you're a
him-
piece of meat.
yeah.
I mean, do you think it's like him talking to your parents was their definition of courting?
I certainly hope not.
Wait. But if you think he's lying about that, are you thinking that he knows more about the deaths than he let on to?
Possible, but he's also really pathetic.
Yeah.
It's like a sad drowned cat.
He's like a soiled dishcloth of a man.
Reminds me
I
of-
bet you some people find it hot though.
I don't. No, I
No.
don't find that attractive in the least.
Absolutely
I said
not.
some people, not
Hey, now,
Some
it can
people.
be,
He was
lonely
really
living.
I mean, okay, to be fair to whatever his views of this is, I do view him as a means to an end, really, which is probably not the best of me, but you know, you gotta make a living.
he was truly upset about his dead bride. He would do like, anyone else does when their wife dies on their wedding day, go down into the underworld and bring her back with him. Just never, don't look back.
Is that a thing people do?
Mont Blanc
Look,
turns like
there's a
what?
momentary look of frustration. It's just like, oh, okay, I
Kinda-
come from someplace else. That's a fairly common story.
That kind of sounds impossible. Pretty sure when you're dead, you're dead.
If it
Points out the new book.
if it was possible, she points at the door, is like, do you think that could do anything about it?
I mean, if he looked like he does in the statue, maybe he could, but no.
I'm pretty sure that statue has horse feet. Like, on him.
Yeah, I don't think the sculptor knew how to do feet and just kind of gave up after making a wedge. But he is gonna make my cans like so.
An artist who knows where their strengths are.
He's very good at chess. and
I'm not
checkers.
complaining. Future generations are gonna think I was hot.
So, beat up ghosts is our plan of attack, and hope that he's not sending the ghosts at us.
I guess
Instead of
so.
ghost.
I mean, he sounds cursed himself,
Trainer?
so he might not even be aware that there's a presence here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think he's kind of a dumbass.
That too. I mean, he says he's so lonely despite having servants.
Hey, now, it can be very lonely living with all these servants who don't know you whatsoever, truly.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to remember that aristocrats view themselves as a different sort of person than common folk. It's one of the reasons why I was actually like, damn, he's gonna marry me. Things are turning up Leone when I come here, and it turns out all his wives are dead. I mean, I'd heard about that, but I kind of figured it was exaggeration. I didn't know how many there were.
Wait, you said he had a vault.
Well, he says he has a vault. I haven't seen the damn thing. It's probably somewhere in his room, and I never get to go in there.
Charles is getting the calculations look. He goes, "When did his first wife die, and was that around after the king died?"
He's been married 12 times in the past 15 years.
Jesus Christ.
Predates the king.
Okay.
That man needs to get like an exorcist, but like we're gonna beat up some ghosts and see how that goes.
That's what I said.
Dude, just get a cat.
It's been a while since I've participated in an exorcism, but I might be able to recall.
Literally back there, just accept that you're not gonna get married and just fucking get cats.
To the Baron or Leone?
About the Baron to Leone.
Yeah, but on the other hand, he does have a lot of money, though, and he's not using it. I mean, really, that's the problem with aristocrats. They just fucking hoard these giant piles of gold and they don't use any of it.
Yeah, I know.
Like, my dad calls me a spendthrift, but I just make sure that my money, like, has a purpose, you know? God, I could do so much shit with that money.
They probably just don't understand that they could.
Like when you've got that, when you're that loaded, you can just snap your fingers and a problem's gone. Person starving on the street, they have a banquet. It's on Leone. The cattle's sick, have some new ones on Leone. House catch fire. We're building you another one. Leone von Hubert's footing the bill. That's the life I want to be leading, and I need this fucker's cash to do it.
Well, let's see about making sure that happens. If you still want it.
I mean, it beats working in a shop. I mean, the people at Hansine were nice, don't get me wrong. But if I have to spend one more day in that shop selling things to people and dealing with incredibly inane complaints and requests, I am going to go fucking crazy. I will not go back to retail!
Mood, Leone. Alright. She looks at everybody and says, Punch ghost time?
Punch a ghost time.
Technically, I'll be cutting the ghost in half with my sword.
That's just as good.
Sounds good. I'm gonna just, make sure it's all okay with the hubby.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Nobody knocks on the door. Do you mind if I make our guests dinner? Oh, my poor plump wife. Stop using that word. My poor plump wife having to cook for strangers because my servants abandoned me. I thought you said you sent them away. Yes, but they didn't come back when I needed them. They should have known.
God.
Okay, I'm cooking dinner. Would you like any? No, I would retire to be with my sorrows for the night. Okay. Oh God, it's gonna be a long marriage.
I have a question for you. Has he eaten anything since you've been here?
Yeah, a few things. He does not have much of an appetite. I think that's why he's such a skinny fuck, but I've gotten him to eat some steak. He does not like that I cook. Apparently it's low class of me. I'm supposed to have other people do it. She rolls her eyes.
There's also an
Ha-
answering roll.
How well cooked was that steak?
This is, I mean, medium rare. That's like how it should be, unless you're a sick fuck.
Fair.
You speak the
Those
truth.
odds, yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit, was that offensive? She says, looking at Charles.
No, I love a good steak. Okay, so that's something that's apparently a weird thing here since I've gotten to Anglo-Sax, is people look at me really weird when I'm eating meat. Is it because I look like a cow?
Yes.
I think
It's because you look like a cow, yes, yeah.
Did you think I looked weird if I ate a cat?
I think
normally
most
don't
people
eat
eating a
cats,
cat would be
but-
weird, yes.
That's
I
true.
mean, if you're really desperate, I can understand it, but cats are pets. You give them cuddles.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna cook you some food. Okay. And Leonie cooks you all a nice dinner, and eventually night sets. She goes to bed in her room. And you guys get to go to the servants' quarters.
Do.
Look at the nice beds there. And when
My
night
shield is as big as
falls,
these beds.
when night falls and the moon is high in the sky, you hear thumping outside in the hall. And that's where we're going to leave off for tonight.
Yay. God damn.